We ready, guys?
Yep.
I guess I'll just do the regular intro. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales from the Fort.
Yeah.
I am Jared.
And I am Jared.
And with us today, we have a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, this is Jesus from Thanks for the Invite podcast and Spektre Studios.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
He was on before. Shut up. He was on before with the rest of the guys from TFTI, and now we just have him on solo. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I missed that episode.
oh yeah, because you weren't even here.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. He was out there. He's like, so his name's Jared too, right? I was like, yeah, and he goes, I was like, oh yeah, you never met him yet.
Yeah.
So,
I was making sure that's Jared, right? Yeah. I wanted to be sure.
Yeah. I was
you're the
like,
Jareds.
when he said that, yeah, you had Jesus coming on, I'm like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, nice.
Hold on,
This whole-
remind me who he is.
Yeah.
I listened to the podcast, but it was our podcast that I had to listen to because I wasn't on it. It's like, wait a minute. Why wasn't I on
It's
it?
either Jesus or Jesus, and I don't think he can get Jesus.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, we've been trying to get Jesus on here.
Yeah,
for
he's like,
on the wait list as well.
I'm busy tonight. Check back like a couple centuries. Like,
well, hopefully we get him on there soon as well.
exactly.
Yeah,
He'll come back and debut on here,
he's on the bucket list.
dude. That would be how like your podcast would go through the roof. But then, like the end of the world would probably happen. But
well, yeah, I was just saying when he comes back, that's it. It's
Yeah.
over. I mean,
got a
we're all
really good guest here tonight.
Your
It's
mind
the
goes
one
to,
time.
can I get him on a podcast? You
It's
realize,
not-
right? He's here. Yeah. And I want to
Yeah.
get him on my
Right.
podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I going with you? Right?
Right.
We cool?
Yeah, we're-
All right.
We're going with you, right?
Yeah. Well, this has been a great fucking episode. No, so, how'd you boys enjoy that storm?
That was awesome.
Dude, it like, I almost died. I didn't almost die, but I almost died. Like,
You got hit hard then over here.
yeah, because I was at work and then it started hitting over there like about 5:30, like 5 o'clock. This dealer showed up with a couple of her friends to do some stuff in their booth because normally the Thursday before our first of the Saturday of the month sale, we stay open until 8 for the dealers to come work on their booths because some of them, you know, work 9 to 5s and everything, don't have time to get over there and do stuff with their booths. So blah blah blah.
Right.
So she came up there, and then we were told her when she got there, and we are just like, hey, you know, we're not doing the dealer night tonight because of the storms coming in. We're going to do it tomorrow night. And her and her friends all looked at us like we're stupid. Like, what storms? And it was like blue skies out there. I was like, they're coming. And then, like, not even 30 minutes later, it's like getting windy as hell and like black outside. And then they come up. I was like, yeah, we're shutting down now, so y'all got to go. Oh, my God. I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking storm I was talking about.
It did come out of nowhere though, because I was hearing
Yeah.
about it all fucking day, and then I was all day. I was like, I don't really see anything either. So I was kind of the same. I was like, well, and then it said 3, and then 3 hits nothing. And it said 4, and then 4 hits nothing. And then around 6 or whatever it was, that's when it started to roll in really, really hard. And it didn't. I hit hard, but not in my area. So it was up north over here,
Yeah.
much more where it was hitting.
It was kind of us because I went to leave. I even set the alarm for the store, and I went to leave, and I go to open the door, and it was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck. And I was like, should I stay? And so I went and deactivated the alarm, and then I was sitting there looking. I was like, it's not even raining yet. I was like, I got time.
Right.
So I went and hit the alarm again. I had to take off running. Like my dad was watching the camera. He's like, what the hell's he doing? And then I went outside, and we have those big ass concrete like planters
yeah, you
outside.
do.
One of those got blown over from the wind.
Damn.
It was like, I was like, I'll fix that tomorrow.
Yeah. It was like 80, 90 mile per hour wind.
Yeah, it
And
was nuts.
That was
but
bad.
I love storms.
I loved it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
But I was at one of the stores training a store manager, and I was having my wife keep me up to date because we had meetings, so we were going kind of late. And she sent me, when she got home, it was like 4:30 or so. And it's like, the weather guy's saying it's going to go north, so we're not even going to get it. So I sent her, angry faces like, damn it, it always goes north. We always miss it.
I can't enjoy this.
Right. But then she texted me at like 6 when I'm getting ready to hit the road. She's like, yeah, it's getting ready to hit. And I'm coming from Euless, going west. So I'm coming into the storm, and the skies just keep going darker and darker and darker. And then I get to Riverside to get ready to turn off onto 35, and it just hits, and it feels like I'm in like a tornado from 820 all the way to North Tarrant, because you just see all this debris going everywhere. My truck's rocking. I'm like, what the hell is this?
So like you're in Twister.
Yeah, like,
Cow.
Out of nowhere,
Another
too.
cow.
another cow.
I think it's the same one. Texas has the fucking weirdest weather, because I remember right before we moved to San Antonio, we just got back into town from, I think it was Ireland, and it was like the beginning of January or something, and we landed, and they had to land late because storms, like it was crazy fucking storms on that Friday. The next day, Saturday, we woke up, and it was like snowing outside.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Wasn't there tornadoes last night? Now we
I
have
know.
snow, so...
I mean, I know it's March now, but it's the beginning of March. But February is just a really... Yeah, I've only lived in Texas for about 5-6 years now, but February has always been a really fucked up month. when
It
comes
is.
to the
Yeah,
weather.
that is true. It's very random.
Yeah.
Such a everything freezes and snowstorm. I mean, then storms, and it's just, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's
February.
got some
for
mood
sure.
swings.
And then
Yeah,
today was
definitely.
80.
Yeah.
It was great. I cleaned out my garage today. We cleaned the cars. We did all this outdoor stuff. And then I guess next Friday we're supposed to have a cold front come through. It's supposed to be 40 again.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. On that.
No.
Yeah, Friday and next weekend it's supposed to be like 40 or maybe 50 all weekend. It's
Let me
like,
look this up. This is bullshit.
I know.
But
Yeah, it's
I do
like
I do
every
enjoy them though.
week.
I don't know if it's a Texas thing, but I do enjoy storms from a distance.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
being in the house knowing like nothing's gonna happen, but like
Right.
how hard it gets, you're just like, this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. I
Hear the rain. and
Yeah.
The thunder.
Yeah.
I hate the hail.
Yeah, same.
Don't need no tornadoes.
Yeah. But like, give me that storm. Just give me
Right.
that, the rain and the thunder, like just that dark
Right.
clouds, like
Lightning
the
and
atmosphere.
thunder.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I love that. I can crack myself up. We've already done the 4-4. What should we do instead?
Do we have the rapid fire question
Let
ones?
me see if I can find that again.
That one was good.
Yeah. We can make homemade enchilada sauce.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's do that.
That's
sounds
at the
good.
top of my bucket list.
You didn't have Mexican tortillas for us this time. Tortilla chips for us.
Oh, I
For me this
know.
time.
I was like trying not to be racist because like, so we
Attempt
had a
failed.
Taco Cabana. They had it at the store,
Right.
And they had a bunch of chips, like a big fucking tray full
Yeah,
of
he
chips
had
and
a
salsa.
fucking bag.
Damn.
Yeah,
And he goes,
it was
"I'm
like a
not-
shopping
no,
bag
not-
full of chips and
Yeah.
stuff.
So you had tortillas and salsa or
He
something?
just, it was
for-
tortilla chips and salsa, and then he goes, "Guys, go ahead, dig it." He didn't tell us after. He goes, "Well, just so you guys know, like I went to Taco Bell, and I was just like, oh, okay, sure."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's like, 3 Mexicans coming over. Give me a lot of
Yeah.
chips and salsa.
What is your kind like?
You got queso? Could have brought some queso. You
Oh,
actually
my
bring queso now that I
God.
think about it.
Dude, queso is the shit.
Oh, dude, I love queso.
Love me some queso.
Yeah.
Expensive, overpriced at every
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason it should cost $8 for a fucking bowl of queso. Like
Exactly.
$5 to me was expensive. The fact that I go to places, I'm like 8, 9, 10. I'm like this. I'm like, come on,
Right.
man. Like it's
Right.
fucking cheese. Like it's nothing fancy, man.
Exactly.
But we melted it already for
Right.
you.
It's crazy.
And we put a tomato in there.
Right.
You're welcome. That'll be $15.
There's a place in Arlington called Salsa Verde. Arlington over there by, I think it's Pioneer.
I think
Salsa Verde?
Or Arkansas Drive. I don't remember. It's called
There's
Salsa.
Campo Verde over
Campo
there.
Verde.
Yes.
Salsa Verde.
Dude, that is my
Campo
place.
Verde.
I
And
love that place.
they give you the cheese dip for free.
Yeah.
Like, it comes
Oh.
with it. It's
Oh.
fucking
That's what.
good.
Have you been there? So
Oh my
the
God.
restaurant,
Okay.
the inside looks like if Christmas and Las Vegas had sex.
Yes.
Oh.
And had a baby.
But like to the max.
Oh,
Like
I'm talking
old
about
Vegas.
over
You go to those
Old
old,
Vegas.
you go to old ladies' houses and they're like, she's a fucking Betty Boop fan.
Right.
Like, you're just like, okay.
Right.
It's like that.
Right.
It's like, oh
Their
shit.
Christmas
Yeah.
all
Oh.
the time.
They have a train that goes around the
24/7.
top of the
Really?
ceiling of the
24/7.
restaurant
Yeah.
the whole time, and you'll be sitting here and you just see.
It's decked out. Like
Yeah.
like my wife told me the way Jared told me the first time, and then like I went and I was like, oh, you weren't lying.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I was like,
It
I
is-
didn't even expect how much of this decoration
Right.
it was. Yeah.
Santa Claus came and just shit everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Basically.
Everywhere.
It's
For
got,
real.
It's got like these old. It's carpet everywhere, like the
What?
Vegas casino.
Okay.
And then it's got those old like school with the wicker kind of backs,
Yeah.
those slide out chairs and stuff. But yeah, they have the thing I like too is the chips. They have the seasoning on.
Oh
them.
yes,
So they have the really good chips. And then they give
man.
you a little salsa and a little queso right when you get there. Like that's just there.
It's really really good.
It's called Campo Verde.
Yeah, Campo Verde.
Haven't gone there in a few years. I know it's gone pricey now after COVID. Everything is what isn't pricey, but
that's not far at all.
It's really good though.
Holy shit.
That's
Even-
my
Even the building outside is like very
yeah.
It's very
in your
old.
face.
Yeah, it's very yeah. For for sure.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Now imagine that inside.
Looks
but
like some
right,
other
I mean-
Flintstones movie or something.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Wilma.
Oh yeah, see, like there it
Oh,
goes. Yeah,
shit.
yeah, just like that.
damn.
But it looks darker too. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's how it is.
what's their deal with Christmas?
I
What?
don't know. It's just decked
Well,
out.
it's normally like that. Like Christmas time, they really deck it out. But
That's
like
what my
the
wife
rest of
says
the year,
too.
they kind
So
of
they
back
go.
it down.
They go more.
I've
for
never been.
Christmas?
I've never been during Christmas.
Okay.
My wife said the same thing. I was. It's always like this. She goes, no, during Christmas. She goes, they go all out, and
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
It is
Wow.
red and green everywhere, and
Yeah, it's but it's cool though. It's really cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there.
hell yeah,
We-
it is
we-
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And their food's pretty good.
it is good.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know the price now, but it's good still.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. last
That's
time
the
it was good.
place that I went on the date with that girl, and she ordered a cheeseburger.
Oh, that's the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went on a date with a girl there, and she ordered a cheeseburger. And I wasn't paying attention when she ordered, and I thought he said, the waiter said, "Do you want fries?" And that's what comes with it.
Right.
And she goes, "Yeah." And he leaves. I go, "I thought he said you wanted fries." And she goes, "He did." And I was like, "What did you order?" And she goes, "A cheeseburger." I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's what I always order when I come here." I was like,
Oh man.
"Oh, okay." I was like, "Why the fuck would you order a cheeseburger at a Mexican
Yeah,
restaurant?"
like why would you?
If you
what?
wanted a cheeseburger, we could have gone to
To get actual
McDonald's or something.
cheeseburger, yeah.
But yeah, that kind of killed it for me with her. Plus, we just had nothing in common. Like she was like a some kind of divorce attorney or something like that.
Oh,
and I was
Jesus.
like, I'm not near and mature enough for you.
I go, you're out of you're out of my league.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like that's a different level of
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What are you doing on a date with me?
yeah. Did you know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm me?
Let's just be sure you know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I sell your grandma's stuff when she dies. So
Is there food as good as mezcales?
I've never
I'd,
been there.
You never been there?
I'd probably put it around the same level.
About
I
the
think
same.
mezcal is maybe a little bit better to me, but
This is really good.
yeah, Mezcala's is fucking. I love that
Yeah,
place.
that place
It's over
is
on
awesome.
Jacksboro Highway,
Yeah, just right
okay.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check
right
that-
across
yeah.
from Ace Hardware.
Me and my wife always looking for places to go try out. new
It's
places and
closed
stuff.
on Tuesdays, I think. It's a
I
weird.
believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
closed on Tuesdays, but other than that, it's open and it's pretty good and it's not expensive at all. So.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. Closed on Tuesdays.
They had so that place. You remember the Mexican Wolverine?
Yeah. That's. I was just getting ready to go with Mexican Wolverine.
So there was this guy that he'd wear these skin tight shirts and
Yeah.
they'd all wear blue, and he's kind of like a little muscular,
a
but
little
like
bit. Yeah. He's not bad.
it's just like
You can tell he works out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Bony
not
muscular?
over.
yeah, like bony muscular, like
Yeah.
a little bit of a bicep.
Yeah.
But he'd have these chops and
Oh
stuff.
man. Big
and then,
chops, like
yeah,
big, like
big
they'd
old
start for sideburns, but then they'd go thick.
Yeah.
All the way down to here, but then no mustache, no goatee.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, they just
and
stop.
he'd always walk around like, ah! No,
Well, and his hair
Yeah.
was like
he had it spiked, and I think he shaved his head or something like
Yeah.
that. But my friend Alex, he's like, "Hey fool, you look like the Mexican Wolverine." And then that's like every time, whenever we go there, I'd put him out to Jared. I'd be like, "Dude, this is a Mexican Wolverine."
And that's at that place.
Yeah, I haven't seen him there.
I haven't
last
seen him
last
there.
time I went,
Yeah.
but
we
Shooting the
recently
new
went
X-Men
and he
movie.
wasn't there, so
Yeah.
the X-Men came calling. So
Yeah, he had to leave.
yeah, he had to go
Los
protect.
Wolverines.
The storm. Vámonos. Vámonos, Storm.
¿Cómo se dice? Professor.
Javier. It's Javier. Professor Javier. That's what it is.
Profe Javi.
Yeah. Javier.
Aquí. Oh, uno ojo.
Psycho. I'm trying to think. I was trying to also think like what. Un ojo joven. Cicloplos. No.
Ciclopte.
Ciclopte.
Pinche rojo. All right.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
All right, Jesus. Cake or pie?
Cake for sure.
Godfather or Star Wars?
Godfather now.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's a show.
No, keep it rolling. I like that answer.
It used to be Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
I would have picked Star Wars.
Actually, I've never seen the Godfather movies.
Really?
Yeah, I've tried to start watching them, but it didn't work.
Dude, yeah. No.
They're fucking great.
Good.
They're so fucking good. They're long but worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard good things.
They're
but,
great.
Yeah.
How many times did you sneeze in the last 7 days?
Oh, 300-400 times. I just cleaned my nose today. I sneezed like 200 alone today.
My mom got me one of those little like.
The trimmer?
No, it's not a trimmer. It shoots water in
The
your
nose cleaner thing?
Yeah, but it's like a big ass machine.
Oh,
You sit
yeah.
there going,
Oh, yeah.
Try not to choke.
yeah. And like I'm taste salt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm going to come over here one Saturday to do the podcast, and you're going to be fucking dead in the
I
kitchen.
know, bloody nose, big old string of snot hanging out.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
There's no snot no more.
Well,
in the
technically,
body.
it's not in there
Yeah.
anymore.
The cause of death was drowning.
Like pulling it out, like you're pulling a boat into shore. I'm just dragging it around the
Yeah,
floor.
it's
Snot rope. Okay.
Murray's eating you.
He's licking.
He's like,
chewing on it. Do you like the word dapper?
dapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Big dogs or small dogs?
Small dogs.
How many hours of sleep do you need?
8.
Are women complicated?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell
For
yeah.
fuck's sake,
Hell
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, as
Them
fuck.
damn women.
Yes. That's all they are. Complicated. Go ahead.
Say good day, mate, in an Australian accent.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. Next
Another
question, mate.
Shrimp on the barbie. How often is it healthy to cry?
How often?
Yeah.
I would say often, but not so much where you're just like, this is me now. You know, like
Yeah,
you don't
you're
make it
not-
a personality where like I cry from
Yeah.
5:30 to 6. You know, you want to do something like that. Like it's more of like
You caught me during crying hour.
yeah. It's one of those like I build mine up and then I
What?
know like
Mom. Told you not to call me.
yeah. This is my crying time, mom. But yeah, you know, I mean, enough where you can kind of just let it out. You know, just, you know, in yourself and kind of just like, all right, cool, and then done.
You start thinking about everything bad.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just
like you bottle it all up and then you go, and then you kind of
drop my ice cream.
Yeah. and then done.
Think about the worst stuff.
Rocky road.
And what if my foot fell off? Oh God.
Well, I think when men cry, we after we cry, we go like, all right, well, that's life. Like, what do we got?
Yeah.
What's next in life? And let's
Right.
move on.
Pretty
and
much.
instead of like crying and dreading in the feelings and consistently just like over and over, we're just like, once we cry and we let it out, we're like, fuck, like that's life.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
now we're in the real
It's
world
done.
and boom, let's move on.
Right.
You were sad. Now it's time to figure it
Yeah.
out.
So I think it's healthy for people to cry.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
What's your favorite carb? Bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes?
Potatoes for sure.
If you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Ooh, that's tough.
Where did I put my wallet? Thanks, G.
Damn.
Man, that one's.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Look, I'm big on conspiracy, so I'm over here trying to think
I know,
of which
I'm
conspiracy
like-
would
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to know. Like,
Did we really go to the moon?
yeah, like I really want to know. Like, is space? Is it water? What's going on there? You know, like I don't know. I don't know. There's so many. I mean, you know what? I mean, I would even want to know like what even is the reason? Because like what is the reason for us? Like,
Yeah.
I know that's like the most like generic. Like, what's our purpose?
yeah.
Or whatever. But like.
What
I mean,
is the purpose?
Yeah, but like really, because like we're told by a society, like your purpose is to go to school, learn, work, find a job, work for 50 years, 60 years, retire for the next 10, 15 years and die. But here's the thing, like now it's like not like that. Now it's like you got to work, go to school, work, and then go out, work, and then you never retire.
Right.
Because you're not allowed, and not only if you can't retire. Like there's nowhere to retire. So I want to know the real meaning of life. I don't think it's work and
Yeah.
doing something you don't want for the rest of your life just to
Right.
get through and hopefully have a vacation once a year.
Yeah. True.
You know?
You get 2 weeks off this year.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You can't take them together.
I'm going to go to
Yeah,
Branson.
but I can't call in though.
Yeah.
So you gotta be sure.
Call
for
in,
that.
you're fired. You get
Yeah.
nothing.
Fuck that.
Right.
Anything you bought with a paycheck you made from here, we're taking. So, stale Sour Patch Kids or fresh circus peanuts?
Oof. Oh, the peanuts are the fucking
Yeah.
That big. I haven't had one
I
in so
actually
long.
like those. Aren't
yeah,
bad
I'm
if
about to
they're
say-
fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'll take those just because they're not
Yeah.
as bad as what it is.
What flavor are they?
It's been a while since I've had it.
I haven't had one in
chalky.
forever.
I just remember my wife.
I mean, it's,
My wife getting them, and
Yeah.
I was like, "These aren't peanuts." She's like, "No, this is how they are." I was like, "What the fuck
right.
is this?"
It's
Like,
it's a weird
Yeah.
thing for sure.
yeah,
But they're not bad if they're good. Like if they're
Yeah.
fresh
Yeah.
and so
they're like rice cakes. Like they're not good or bad. You're just like,
Right.
yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm eating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
really they
Yeah.
don't really have a
I-
flavor, I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean,
I
don't know.
don't know. I haven't had one in so long.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been years. Like
I do see
8,
them
9
everywhere.
years.
Like Walgreens have them. Walgreens has the
weird.
weirdest shit,
yeah.
but
How they do.
Did y'all ever
asses.
get
just random
the?
shit.
It was usually at the dollar store. It was the pack of wax lips.
Yeah.
Then it was
Oh,
gum.
Yeah,
and you could chew
you,
them and
chew
stuff.
it, you just chew it forever.
You'd always
Yeah.
chew the center out so you can poke your tongue out.
Yeah.
and then you'd eat the rest, and it
Right.
was horrible gum.
Yeah,
It was
and
just
then
like
like
chewing a
Halloween they
candle.
had some for vampire. They had
Yeah,
vampire.
vampire
yeah,
seed.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that one.
Man,
Yeah.
those are the good old days.
Just for sure.
Good old
They were
days.
Walk
just-
around
yeah.
chewing wax.
Chewing wax. Ain't nothing better than chewing wax. And
Right.
sometimes wax had that liquid in them. The liquid,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the bottles,
Oh, the little Coke ones.
little Coke bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that liquid
You
was,
chew the top off, and then you go.
and then drink the little
And
liquid.
then it'd be like it's like a little bitty Coke
Yeah,
bottle
yeah.
that looks like almost see-through white, and then it's got like a blue or green or something, and you go, and then you go. If you're really cool, you really okay.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
sit on
just
it. You
sit-
sit with
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Babysit.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm gonna savor this
Yeah, yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Especially we don't know what the juice was. We don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
we're putting in our bodies. But hey, that's life.
It's cool.
That was the '90s.
Exactly.
If it was cool, that was it.
What was y'all's favorite candy as a kid?
Gushers was one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Gushers was one of my favorite that I
Yeah.
never got. So like when
Yeah.
because my mom like I growing up I didn't realize that we were poor. You know, like we were
Yeah.
Yeah.
my mom was just like, no, I'm not getting it. So
Yeah.
like then growing up, oh, that's why we didn't get all this
Right,
shit. That we had,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
like
you see how much it is
Yeah.
and how fast they eat it.
that's why we
Exactly.
ate beans all the time. No,
Right.
no, we weren't poor, but we were definitely we got
beans and
by.
rice again, mom.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Fuck.
And so Gushers maybe one.
Yeah.
When every time I'm like damn, like holy shit, Gushers.
Yeah.
I don't know, candy.
Because my favorite was always Butterfinger, but it was mainly because of Bart Simpson. Like I
Okay.
mentioned it before, but
Oh, with
Right.
chocolate as well though.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
I loved Butterfinger, but all the commercials is nobody better
Because-
lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right.
commercial.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Bart Simpson eats them. I gotta eat them. I'm cool.
these aren't as good.
Yeah.
but Bart
But-
likes them.
but Bart
well, yeah, you
likes
get
it.
half of it stuck in your teeth,
And
and
it's
you
so
go,
crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you eat it, just it all breaks apart
Yeah.
immediately. You're like,
Right.
shit.
with like hold a plate underneath it. So
I think growing up, my favorite candy was Charleston Chews. You remember those?
I've had one once.
Charleston Chews.
I don't think.
Yeah,
They're
it's like a
older
weird
candy.
kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a strict. Yeah, it's chocolate and like marshmallow.
marshmallowy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. I love
Yeah.
marshmallow.
It's
Mhm.
man.
And they're still around. You can even buy the little bite size Charleston Chews.
Are they round?
No, they're kind of square.
Okay. No.
Like the regular ones are kind of a long chocolate bar, about this long, but kind of skinny.
yeah.
And then the little ones are just little chunks in a box. So,
Oh, I gotta
And-
try some of that.
but
Fun fact, Eminem is still loco enough to choke you to death with a Charleston Chew.
I'm gonna show y'all my favorite.
Chicka 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 slim shady.
Chicka Chicka Slim Shady.
Oh man. Oh, what was the last question was paper or plastic?
Plastic.
I'm a plastic guy too, because
Yeah.
paper if it gets wet.
That's my
then-
favorite candy. As a child. It still is to this day. As a child and growing up,
I
the-
never had it, but I
Paleta
always saw
payaso.
those. It looks like a clown
Oh.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a clown.
Okay.
pastry kind of candy.
Yeah, it's just marshmallow with chocolate, and then it has like gummies, like a little face, like two, the eyes, and then the.
Have you? Do you
Great
know where?
attack.
Do you know where you can get that?
Yeah. So
It's a trap.
yeah, you can go to Fiesta Fiesta Grand Plaza,
Okay.
or any little like the little Mexican butcher places,
Okay.
like carnicerias,
Yeah.
and they have them there. I fucking love them.
Because I love chocolate and marshmallow.
Oh, bro,
Just-
you're gonna love this.
Okay.
one. Yeah. Go over there. You'll love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah. When you said chocolate and marshmallow, I was like, hold on, bro. 'Cause,
Right.
my favorite of all time. I don't know
Right.
if you've heard of this one. Yeah,
Right.
I love that.
Did y'all ever get the ice cream truck though?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still do, dude.
Do you really?
Yes. If the ice cream, because I have kids,
Oh,
but I
I
still want to
know.
go do it. I still do it. Like we'll hear. We have a cul-de-sac behind us, so we'll hear it go through there first, and then we know it's coming to our street next. And so yeah, the kids and I go out there, and we always, I get the chocolate banana bomb pop.
it looks like a big missile.
Yeah, it looks like a big missile, but it's the
Okay.
chocolate banana one.
Yeah,
instead
that
of
one's
the
good.
red,
Oh, yeah,
red,
yeah,
white, and blue
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then my kids will get something, and yeah.
I got Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, the Ninja Turtle, the
Yeah.
And you
SpongeBob,
get the two gumballs.
yeah.
Defected ones. Yeah.
I know they look all like the eyes are like
Yeah.
offset
Plus-
real bad. And
Plus, as an adult, I kind of not that I feel sorry for the person, but I mean that's their business.
Yeah.
So, and the prices aren't horrible. I mean,
that's my thing. I'd be like, can I get a case of this?
yeah, right, yeah. I would say, I mean, I think my kids will get some, I'll get some. It's like $12, so it's not
Not too
bad.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
bad. I mean, you just gotta get the right stuff because there is some things that are like $3 or $4, and then you get it's like this big. You'll eat it in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Mhm.
So you do have to watch out for that stuff. But yeah, I love the ice cream truck, man. That's
Yeah.
That was my thing too. My
Yeah.
mom would never give me money for it.
oh man.
I think now as an adult, you do more things with your kids because you weren't able to do them as
Yeah.
a younger
Mhm.
kid. Like I remember my
That's
mom would
true.
be like, "No, well, when you get older, you'll understand." And I'm like, "Get older," and I'm like, "I don't." Right?
Yeah.
What? You
Right.
didn't
You didn't
understand, Mom.
understand.
Like now I want to take my kids to do everything.
Right.
Like one of the issues I get a lot is like people talk about like Disney adults are like, "I hate Disney adults," and I'm like, the people who hate Disney adults are the people who live by Disney.
Right.
And the Disney adults are actually kids who didn't ever get to go to Disney
Right.
Yeah.
and are now adults who are able to afford it and go to my wife's a Disney adult. Like she
Right.
never was able to go to Disney. Now she's like, I fucking love Disney because she's able to fucking do it now. She
Hell
was
yeah.
able to do it. So like that's what I hate when people say that. Oh, I hate Disney adults. I'm like, nah, bro. It's because you got lucky
Right.
that you live down the street. You're able to go
Yeah.
every summer.
Exactly.
So yeah, of course they're gonna be annoying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have y'all been to Disney? Like
Mhm.
places?
I've been
Yeah,
to both. I've been to World and Land.
Yeah, I've been to both.
I've been to World only, two times. Yeah, not
I've been
Land.
twice.
Okay.
I've heard Land is better though, just because they got 2 parks.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have 2 parks now?
It's only 2 parks, right?
Yeah. There's
On
just
Land.
2 parks in Land. There's like what 3 or 4.
4
in World?
in World.
Yeah.
So you're paying for 4
Yeah,
parks.
you're
and-
paying a lot, but
Yeah.
one of the worlds isn't worth going. I mean, I guess if you have small kids,
Yeah.
you should go to it. But I think it's Epcot.
Well, Magic Kingdom. Is
Magic
like
Kingdom.
the,
Yeah,
There's Magic Kingdom, Epcot.
They changed
MGM,
Epcot now.
MGM and then Animal something.
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
But I
So
think
there's-
some of them. I think MGM changed names, didn't it?
They
Or something
both
like that?
MGM and Epcot changed names.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
I believe just recently
Yeah.
Epcot changed name. I think MGM has been changed name
Yeah, I thought MGM had changed a while back, but
because I know they have one where they like with Toy Story Land now.
Right.
And
Right.
it's Hollywood. I think it's the
Cars.
Epcot one now. It's where it's Hollywood
which is
stuff.
cool. I love
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the parks I always wanted to go to.
Well, now because you're right, Epcot was one that was boring as shit, right?
Right.
But like now they changed it to Hollywood version to get people to actually
Okay.
come over there.
yeah,
to that
because
one.
Epcot had the Sphere,
Yeah.
Correct.
and then Magic Kingdom had the castle, and then MGM, I don't know what it had.
Yeah.
It had Back to the Future ride. Or
The only-
wait, no, that's Universal.
the only
It's
thing-
Universal, the best.
Because kids,
Oh, yes.
kids didn't really like Epcot, but I think adults like Epcot because you can try different foods and different beers because you get to go
Yeah.
to all the worlds. You get to go to Spain. You get to go to
Ah,
Asia.
that
You
makes
get to
sense.
go.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get to go to all these different places. So I
Try
think
a $15 beer in each
Yeah.
one.
and it was more chill.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the kids are like, "Oh, this is great! I get to watch my daddy get drunk." You know.
Yeah.
But but here's a
It's
question:
just like at home.
have you guys been to Universal?
Oh, I love
Yes.
Universal.
So Universal or Disney?
Universal 100%.
Universal, yeah.
I agree.
I think Disney as a kid because it's so magical and you get to see all the characters
Yeah.
and like the land and the themes of like just how like like they cater everything for like that.
kids.
Yeah, for kids
Oh,
and
yeah.
for you to see
No doubt.
everything. And as an adult, you go to Disney, you kind of go like, this is boring as fuck. Like,
Right.
you're like, what the fuck? You know, and then you go to
Right.
Universal, you go, this is fun.
No
like,
shit.
as an adult, you're like,
Yeah.
this
More
is fucking
adult
fun.
shit.
Yeah.
More adult shit.
Everything is fun. Like,
Even Harry Potter World
yes,
is awesome for
everything.
adults.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, but I love Harry Potter. When I go to
Yeah.
Universal, I'm like, dress me up as Harry Potter. Like, give me the wand, put the tattoo on my forehead, everything. Like, let's do this, man. I'm all in.
Even as a kid, I liked Universal more, just because
Okay.
I grew up like really into movies and watching movies
Right.
and stuff. So like Back to the Future was one of my favorite movies and
Right.
trilogies growing up. So whenever I was like, "There's a ride! Oh my god, this is so
Right.
cool!"
It is a fun ride.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I was like, "Man, this
And
is
I never
so
got to go to Universal as a kid. My parents were able to get us to go to Disney World. We saved up. They saved up really big for one big trip, but we never got to Universal. And so we took our kids to Universal, and yeah, I fell in love with it. I'm like, dude, this is so much better than Disney World.
Mhm.
And did you go on the Rock and Roller Coaster?
Oh yes,
Dude.
I love that fucking
It
rock
was
and
an
roller coaster.
Aerosmith themed roller coaster that was inside, but had all this like neon black light paint
Mhm.
on stuff, like signs.
I
And
thought
you had
that
these
was in Disney.
I don't think it was in Disney. I thought it was in Universal.
Wasn't that
Or was it?
Disney?
Aerosmith's
Aerosmith. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Aerosmith's is,
That's the
but
one I'm thinking of.
Universal's is. So Aerosmith has its own ride,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
They
then
had the
there's
Rock and
another
Roller Coaster.
ride called Rock and Roll.
Okay, got you.
Or Rock and Roller, and that's in Universal, but that's not just Aerosmith. It's a whole bunch of different
Well,
songs.
the one I'm talking about is the Rock and Roller Coaster. It was Aerosmith, like only.
It might be they might be
I
called
thought
the
it was
same
in
thing.
Universal, but
It might be.
they
Called the
just
same
recently
thing.
changed to something else, though.
If
But
I
like,
remember
they
that-
have little speakers right by,
Yeah.
by your headrest, so like the whole time you're
Yeah.
like, "Dude, looks like a lady."
Yeah.
I could have sworn the Aerosmith. Yeah, it changed now, but I could have sworn the Aerosmith was Disney World.
It may. I don't.
Yeah, let me look at. I know. So there is two.
I don't remember.
Okay, so Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith.
Yeah.
That is in Disney World.
Fuck.
But then
That's wrong. That's a
You said,
Mandela
oh,
effect.
Hold on, what universe?
no,
am I
no.
in?
No, Universal has what's it called? Rock and Roll Coaster.
I said my wife's a fanatic with Universal, so I should know.
Universal had the Tower of Terror.
Oh my
No,
god.
that's
are they
Disney.
called the
That's
fucking-
Disney.
Yes, Disney as well.
What the fuck?
Oh no, it's called the Rock and Roll Rip Ride.
That's
okay,
Rocket.
I've heard of
I
that
don't
one.
know
Yeah,
what-
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's actual roller coaster.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the Universal, it's the same thing. They have speakers,
Yeah.
but you have like 60 seconds to choose a song.
Oh.
So it's constantly fucking moving. The reason it has to constantly fucking move is you're going on a damn 90-degree angle to get up to the top of the Universal Rock and Roll Rip It Rocket. And it's like so they got a Rock and Roll Rip It Rocket and then a Rock and Roller Aerosmith. Like fucking choose
real
a
original
goddamn name.
guys.
But yeah, it's a constant conveyor belt. So like when you get up to that one in Universal, you have to keep moving.
Like
and,
an escalator or
yeah,
something.
you have to move and jump onto your coaster, and then they lock you in, and then you have like 60 seconds to pick a song. You can pick any song you want that's on their list, and then as soon as you get to the top, they lock you in, and then they drop you 90 fucking degrees too.
Holy
You
shit.
are a 90-degree straight down drop. It is fucking phenomenal. I
Damn.
love. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I've seen the ride there. I've never rode it though.
Ah, shit. Yeah, that's the drop.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's not really a 90-degree drop, but it's a 90-degree. That you got to go
Yeah,
up
yeah.
that. You got to go straight up that, and then you're
And
coming
then it
down.
goes down.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that is one of our kids and mine's favorite. We love that.
I haven't
fucking.
ridden a roller coaster in I don't remember how long.
It's been a minute. I love the Mamba, or not the Mamba. What's it called? Here at Six Flags, what's it called? Titan.
Yeah.
I love the Titan.
So
I hate Six Flags.
I haven't gone in years because I got a season pass one year, and literally every week for a month
Mm-hmm.
I went once a week, and I got a the parking pass, but I didn't have anyone else to go with, so I'd have to like bribe my friends and like pay for a ticket for them and stuff. So I'd be like, well, let's
So
get
you're
a
still
Coke
buying?
can and everything. So
Yeah, let's get the Coke.
yeah, leave me this nerd up there. Just
remember
just
that
one, please.
Yeah, I remember
I am a
that.
season pass
Yeah.
holder.
we did that when we first moved here in 2016.
Yeah.
We got season pass because we knew my parents were going to come down. We
Yeah.
knew the
if you're
kids were
gonna-
gonna have
yeah,
friends come down.
If
so
you're gonna go more than once,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's worth just getting a season pass.
oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
that's
went
true.
like 6 or 7 times that year.
Yeah,
yeah.
and
We
if
just
you're
went
getting
crazy.
season pass, you need to get parking pass too, because you're not gonna go whenever you want, but pay 15 or back then it was 15. It's probably like
Yeah.
$50 an hour.
Yeah,
just
it's
could
to
be.
fucking
park.
expensive now.
And if you don't pay, you're parking like 50 fucking miles away. You
Yeah.
gotta walk that shit.
Yeah, by the time you walk, because every time I go, we park so far, and by the time I walk to the front gate, I'm like, I'm ready to go home.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't
that's what I
Exactly.
hated. And then you
Exactly.
go wait in line, and so whenever I got my season pass, that first month I went, it was I could literally walk up to the front of the line. There was no one there, and it was right at the beginning of summer. And then I didn't go for like a couple weeks, and then I was sitting at home one night bored, and I was just like, I want to go up there and ride the Titan. So I went up, drove all the way to Arlington, parked, went inside, walked all the way over there, noticed that the line was really long, and I just went, I don't want to wait. And then I turned around and left.
The perks
Like,
of
fuck
having
it.
a season pass.
I was all proud of myself. I was like, you're doing this on your, it was like a Saturday
doing it
night
on
too
your
and
own.
stuff. And then I just went up there and I was just like, no, I don't want to wait. And then I
Right.
just went back home. I think I probably went to Jack in the Box and then went home.
I'm able to
But-
do this. Yes.
I was like,
I think one of the funnest amusement parks we went to when we lived in Tucson, my kids brought it up. I'd never even heard of this place. It's called oh shit, I just lost it. It's in California. Knott's Berry Farm. I never even heard of it.
I've heard of it, and I've seen, I think I've seen it on the side of the road when we were driving in California, but I've never been.
Yeah.
My wife, because my wife's, she's like I said, she's big in those. She watches those Disney videos on
Oh, right.
YouTube and Universal, all the things. So
Right.
she knows about Knott's Berry. So every video she shows me about Knott's Berry Farm, I'm like, oh, this is great. And every video I see on YouTube or TikTok, I'm like, why are people fighting at Knott's Berry Farm? It's like there's like two different, like
Oh,
there's
really?
kids always
Yeah.
fighting there. Yeah, it's like so like people are like, this is the ghetto fucking like Disney World and stuff. And then my
It
wife
is.
shows me videos where they're all like, the food here is amazing and blah 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 blah, and like you bring your whole kids. I'm just like, there's two different worlds going on here. Because what the fuck
the
is
kid
going on?
fight club going
Yeah,
on, and
I'm like, this
delicious
is-
cuisine to watch
Yeah,
it.
there's video of them fighting and stuff. And the other one, they're doing food reviews at Knott's Berry. I'm like, but I will say the videos my
You
wife
see
shows
them
me looks
fighting in the
fun.
background.
Yeah, for real, running around and stuff. I'm like, man.
It is a knockoff for sure, but they have some great rides.
Yeah,
they
I've
really
heard
do.
I've heard it's great. Like
Yeah.
everyone talks about like it's like
That-
if you don't want to go to Disney and it's too packed, go to Knott's Berry. Like,
Mhm.
it's fun.
Yeah, they have like 7 or 8 coasters. One that I think it's one of the only still wooden roller coasters. It's called the Ghost Rider,
Oh yeah.
and it's all made of wood.
Hell no.
And, dude, that thing was rough. I mean, it was a good coaster, and it's fun because you feel like you're going faster than what you normally you actually are, because all the wood that's in,
Yeah.
and so the
Clanking
pillars just
and
keep
you
going
just-
by, right? But it's so rough. I mean,
Hell
it's
no.
so rough.
That's-
I mean, I think my daughter was sitting on the outside seat, and she on one of the turns she like whiplashed and hit her head on the side of the damn cart
Damn.
and just got a bruise. And yeah, she's like, okay, I'm not riding that ride anymore.
No,
but,
no.
Yeah, that's the way Texas Giant was. It used to be
Mm.
real
Yeah,
rough.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they
Texas
did a lot
Giant.
of improvements on it. It was a lot better, but
It was just.
yeah, yeah. It's like,
like,
Yeah, like,
I'm gonna die today.
this is the time. This is it. Yeah,
This is it, yeah.
Everybody thinks it, but no, this one's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I paid to come here to die.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I did.
Yeah, it all lined up. I knew it. I got the card today for a reason. I knew it.
because that roller coaster there was no line for it because it just sucked like to ride it.
Yeah.
And, I think it was me and my friend Rachel. We were up there and we decided we were just going to keep riding it and take a funny picture until we figured out exactly where the camera was, and then we were trying to take like a weird picture for it. And I think we rode it like 3 times, and then we decided it hurt too much.
Yeah, I
we're
can't
like,
do-
this ain't worth it.
Yeah, I got to get my insurance on this.
I'm like, I know.
No, yeah, it's. I don't like those ride.
It's a rough one, yeah. And then what was it? The Judge Roy Scream.
Yeah.
That one was kind of wasn't it a wooden one too?
Where was that at?
I don't think
It's
so.
at
Six Flags?
Six Flags, yeah.
What's it called?
It was
Judge
called the-
Roy Scream.
It's called something else now, but it was the Judge Roy Scream.
It's the white one right at the beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah,
one outside.
it's like a mini.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
a
not a
mini-
real big one.
No,
It's
but
like Aquaman now, or
is it?
I didn't know how to
no,
get
not
to that
Aquaman.
one.
One of those.
I kept seeing it, but I was
Yeah.
like, how do you get? And you have to like go under.
There's a weird
Like a
little
tunnel or
tunnel you
some
have to go.
shit,
Yeah.
which is really weird.
I know. It's like, why do?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing to take that path for.
Yeah.
So you're taking that path all the way to get just to that coaster, and then you have to take that fucking path all the way
Yeah.
back.
Come back.
And those paths, like, they always stink.
Oh yeah.
Because they're always real humid. It smells like BO.
And
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
ever cleans it. They just
Somebody
slide
probably
Yeah.
pissed in the corner, and
Exactly.
and then your kid just jumped in it. And
Yeah. And now he's fighting another kid.
No,
Yeah.
one of my favorites at Six Flags is the Riddler too, though.
Which one was that?
That's the one that it's like a pendulum. It keeps swinging back and forth, but it also turns you at the same time.
I haven't done that.
Just keeps
one.
going back and forth. It's awesome.
No, because
It doesn't completely go all the way
they
around,
changed
but
the
it gets you.
names.
Yeah, because that's what.
Oh yeah, they
It was-
keep changing
I
them.
forgot what the name was of that one before, but I remember. I know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
they changed it to the Riddler one now.
Yeah, because they used to have like the cliffhanger, and then they changed it to G-Force, and it was the one where
Okay.
they just take you
Yeah.
up and they just.
Oh yeah, now I
Yeah.
think that's because they made a whole DC side, so I think that's
Yeah.
now Mr. Freeze. They call that
No,
one.
that
the
one,
No,
Mr. Freeze. That one's been there.
Oh, that one's
No,
been
Mr.
there.
Freeze was
Okay.
always there.
An
Yeah,
OG
Okay.
one. That one.
because
and
that one, because the original concept for that one, they were supposed to keep it like 60 degrees inside when you're waiting in line,
Oh,
and then it was supposed to be like real cold, and then they did that for like probably a week or so, and they're
right.
like,
And
yeah,
they,
fuck
they
this.
saw
Yeah.
that fucking bill.
Yeah.
In
where
July
it's
in
gonna
Texas.
get hot in there.
Yeah,
But the only good thing about that one is you get drenched in sweat, but then you launch out at like what 60 or 70 miles an hour, so
I've
that
never
sweat
rode
just
that one.
instantly blasts off you.
I'm not
and-
big on roller coasters, so I've never.
Oh, I love
No,
roller
no, no.
coasters.
I've rode
yeah.
the Batman. I rode a few, but like when it comes to roller coasters,
I can't do like
Nah.
spinning stuff, but like I can do roller coasters.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get motion sickness.
I like the rides like Universal, like the Transformer ride. You know, like the Spider-Man ride.
yeah.
I love like the actual where like it feels like you're fucking there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those
I
kinda
like the
VR
roller. Yeah,
or ones.
if they have roller coasters that are like interactive, like the Mummy at Universal was fun.
I got a story on that one. We'll come back to.
I forgot which other one on there, but any roller coaster that actually feels like it's a story. Like that's why I love Universal because
Yeah.
everything just feels like you just emerge with it.
And I like what you're talking too on those VR ones because like Vader will come out and do the Force and start moving your shit around. You're like, oh damn,
Yes.
this is-
That's the
so
cool-
you feel part of the movie.
Yeah.
You know? But the Mummy. So we went to Universal for 3 days, and the first day it's getting dark, we're getting ready to leave, but we have like 30 more minutes. We make it to the exit, and we're like, oh well, we still got 30 minutes. Well, on our way in, we saw the Mummy, and we're like, we're not gonna go to the Mummy. Come on, the Mummy, really? What the fuck is it? And we kept going. We did all the other shit. So we're coming back, and there's no line. There's no wait at all. Even the thing said like a minute wait or whatever. So we're like, okay, fuck it, let's try it.
Yeah. Might as well.
After we wrote it 4 fucking more times before we had to make it to the exit. In fact, the third time when we wrote it, the people saw that we wrote it for the third time and was like, okay, just stay on. They didn't even make us get out and go through the whole big old loop-de-loop
Walking
and stuff
through, yeah.
because they knew nobody was in line. So they're like, yeah, just write it again. That fucking ride, I still say to this day, is in the top 5 of all the coasters that are
ride
there.
is fun.
It is fun as shit.
And it's like I like how you said that you unexpected it because
Right.
like I did too. Me and my wife were like, that's the last thing we'll ride. Like we didn't care for it, but that was also the one that had the least amount of wait time. So we were like,
Yes.
well, okay. So that was one of the first rides we rode at Universal. So we went there and I think it was like a 10, 15-minute wait. And I was like, this is one of the best fucking rides I've had. This
Exactly.
is so fucking fun. Like the
Yeah.
whole watching everything. And then the drop where you don't even realize it.
Right.
You're just like,
And the boom.
and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just straight down and it's darkness. And you're like,
Yes.
holy shit. Yeah, that one was fun.
All the fire, there's so much
Yeah.
fire and stuff in there too. It's just like, oh shit. And then another thing pops, oh
the
shit.
little bugs, they just.
Yes. The
You're
bugs
like,
are coming.
oh,
Like,
fuck.
oh.
Yeah, it's fucking, yeah, it's really great.
Mummy, they did a good job
A1.
because you think of the movie and you're like, okay, it's an okay movie, but a fucking ride on the Mummy, it's
Yeah.
like, what's it going to be? Plus, if you do other stuff, like we sat in line for an hour for Shrek. Shrek was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, it was a bomb.
We sat in line for Terminator. Terminator was, I don't even know what Terminator
It's a
was.
fucking show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
It's
they-
a movie.
Well-
Well, that one's old, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
old.
yeah. That
Because
I-
that was like cutting edge back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 7 seeing it going like, this is amazing. And then when
Right.
I came back, I told my wife, I go, we ain't doing that shit.
Right.
we ain't
We're
doing
moving
that.
on.
Yeah.
So when we saw those two, and we're like, and then we see the Mummy, it's like, if the Terminator sucked and if Shrek sucked, Mummy's gonna be horrible. And then, you know, the kids were just begging. It's like, let's go. All right. It's only a minute wait line. All right, fine. Let's just get in there. And then you fall in love with it. It's just like, oh, shit. This thing just went. And we talked about all the rides, but we talked about the Mummy the most going back to the hotel that night. And then the very first ride we did the next day was the Mummy before we went to Harry Potter World.
It's so surprising how good the Mummy is, like the ride, for real. No, he's not lying.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
It's really good.
And then after that, Harry Potter World is just, holy shit. Like,
And now they got a new ride. What's his ass? The big guy in Harry Potter.
Dumbledore?
No,
he's big. Fuck.
Hagrid.
Yeah.
Hagrid.
My daughter just cussed me out.
My wife just cussed me out right now, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Hagrid has a ride in. That is phenomenal. It is.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I
It
didn't
is
know what that
badass. It's a good one. And we went to Universal like a week after it opened. So
Ooh.
it is a great fucking ride.
Oh, okay. I think my wife has showed me videos on that
Yeah.
one.
The ET ride. Is it still there?
It is still there.
It is still there.
Mhm.
It's empty.
Yeah.
But
Like, no one rides
really?
It goes on.
That was so cool because when you're waiting in line, they'd ask you your name. And then when you're riding by, they go, Jared. Jared. And then, like, E.T.
How do they know my name?
Yeah, it's like, Mom, he did my name.
I know the worker just asked, but
Mom.
But they don't have Jaws anymore. Jaws is gone. They don't do the Jaws
Yeah.
ride.
Well, that was part of the backlot ride.
Right. They don't.
They don't do the
which
backlot
they
ride?
could do that. I think that's in California. They can still do that.
They still do
Oh,
that, but
okay.
not
Florida,
in
I
the
don't-
Florida
I
one.
don't-
They don't do it
I don't
over
know
there.
if I saw it.
They
Saw a
just have
Jaws
like
ride there.
they just have like Jaws out in
Yeah.
the water.
Just swimming around.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. They just have the thing right there, but like, yeah,
It's
it's
weird.
weird. It's just
Is it like a real shark or?
no.
Oh.
It's just a fucking.
Some kid sticks his hand in. Ah!
Mommy, look at my souvenir.
I didn't know this was real. No,
You
yeah,
sell
that,
arms.
that one's great.
Yeah.
We need an arms dealer.
And did on going from like Harry Potter to Harry Potter, they have the fucking Harry Potter to Harry Potter. Going
Love
from
that.
one place to Harry Potter,
Right.
you get to go through. Again, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. My wife is, but like, I love the Harry Potter land over
Yes.
there, and you
They did
go
a
through
great
like
job.
the wall,
Right.
and disappear. So you get to
Yeah.
actually see everybody disappear through the wall, walking through this.
on my
Fucking
phone.
creepy.
So you stand at a corner, like as you're walking, and like everybody just and just. It's really cool. And the other cool thing too is because we got the park to park pass,
Yes.
so you're
Okay.
able to ride the train, the Harry Potter train. So we got on the train, super fucking cool, right? So you actually get on the train, and they close the doors. Oh, look, yeah, Jared's gonna show you. Look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
the
really
walls.
cool, man.
Huh.
Yeah.
And the Harry Potter train is the Harry Potter train is
Yeah.
one of the best non-ride rides because it's just a train
Right.
to take you over there. But like the window
Yeah.
is like you could see fucking Hogwarts and like the world
Oh,
as
like
you're
they
like
have
driving
like
through.
screens or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
to where-
Yeah,
Dude,
but
that's cool.
also,
Is
Yeah.
that the train?
yeah. But
Dang.
also when you're sitting down
Big.
and they close the doors,
Big train.
the white like
Shiny.
they have like a white screen like this.
Yeah.
And so like you could see like Harry Potter and Hermione and them walk by, and
Yeah.
like you could
That's
see like
so
the
freaking cool.
mentors or
The
whatever.
Dementors
like,
come.
you can see
and
like the hands, and,
Yeah.
like, the lights are flickering, and you're just like, this is fucking
the
awesome.
the
man.
little lady with the chocolate trolley comes
Yeah,
by.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
And
Damn.
a little chocolate frog jumps on the window and crawls around, and then
It's so cool,
yeah,
man.
it's like
so
you're in
cool.
the like as soon as you turn like when you go into Dagon Alley.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you turn into there because you're out in Universal, and then you turn into this brick wall, and then you're into Dagon Alley, and you're just like, holy shit, I'm in the fucking movie. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how
like-
great it,
Yeah.
that's how great it is. I mean,
Have
all these
y'all-
pictures.
Have y'all ever done one of those? There's a movie theater up in North Dallas that does like the VR experience things.
Oh, no.
I did one that was an Avengers one. Dude, it's fucking cool.
I wanna
You watched
do
a
this
movie?
now.
It wasn't a movie.
Oh,
Like
that's
you
like a
walk
game.
this scene, but you have this visor on, and then you got like this little vest and stuff you're wearing, and then you like look through it, and you can, like you're
Really?
shooting stuff, and then whenever there's like an airplane going by, it like has wind blowing, and then like when
Damn.
you kept walking and stuff, and then At one point, I opened up the goggles just to see, and we were literally just like walking in a circle. It was just like in the thing, it felt like you're walking downstairs with Doctor Strange.
Right.
And then I opened it up, and we were literally just walking in a circle. I was like,
I want to do this.
Yeah,
it is
fun.
Cool as fuck.
Okay.
I did it a couple years ago. I don't know if they still do it, but
It's in Dallas.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was really fun.
I seen
They
some
had a few
like
different ones,
interactive stuff in Dallas. Like there's a like a VR zombie.
Oh,
where
cool.
like it's like a warehouse, but you put the VR in like what people say like bodysuits.
It's kind of like something like that.
Yeah,
because I think we had a gun or we had some kind of weapon.
Right.
But yeah, it was really fucking cool. So
And so it's almost like doing like Call of Duty zombies type stuff, or
sort of like they had all these people coming to attack you and everything,
Okay.
and you're trying to take off, and then it would switch you in a different role. And if you looked at like your friends that are doing it, they look like Iron Man guy or something like that. And then I'd be like, oh, cool. Dude. Oh, no, you're not. So, but it was pretty cool though. But
Nice.
have you seen the new Ant-Man?
yeah.
Did you like it?
I watched it last week. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
I didn't think it was like anything extraordinary, but I feel like
I still need to see it.
You haven't seen it?
No. God dang it.
I don't.
I'm so
you're not
behind.
missing. You're not missing out on anything.
I need to see it. Hopefully we can see it tomorrow.
yeah.
Hopefully,
I mean,
yeah.
there's no real spoilers you can do because
No.
it's already Kang. That's
Yeah.
like his kind of introduction
Well,
to the movies.
And I'm a
stuff.
big comic nerd. I'm kind of already in the know. And plus, when we had David on here, he saw it, and he was like, "Hey, there's no." I think we were asking about the for the Secret Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
King
the
Bass?
Beyonder.
Oh, Beyonder.
And when you brought up the
Okay.
Beyonder, David kind of shut up, and David's like, I can't say anything. And so I'm wondering if the Beyonder is somewhere in the mist, and maybe David saw it in the movie, and he kind of can see where it's going. But
I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like
I-
I don't remember.
I mean, the Secret Wars is
you want me
coming.
to say it? I mean,
I'm going to go see it, but I don't care if we talk about it. I mean,
well, because the Beyonder's one of King's variants, right?
correct.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I know the Secret Wars are coming for the movies, and I'm a huge I'm a huge Secret Wars guy. I have all those comics, and I've read them all. So if they follow along with the comics, then I know what the movie's going to be
Where it's heading.
somewhat about.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
spoilers.
it just well, because like I feel like even as a fan, like you're a comic book fan, I feel like you're not gonna like this. I don't know, maybe you will.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm not the biggest comic book fan. I'm a big superhero fan, cartoon fan. Like
Mhm.
I grew up with the cartoons and like so I'm not. I don't know. I feel like Ant-Man was a fun movie, but I think it's the movie that kind of showed that Marvel's switching its demographic, and it's not really caring as much for what I feel like Marvel used to do. Is they used to be about the fans, but then it would be like, but we need to make sure everybody else could be included and watch it and enjoy the movies, right? So kids can enjoy it, other people outside,
Right.
your girlfriend can enjoy it. But like now it's like, no, we need to make sure everybody can enjoy this, and we need to make sure that everybody can understand this, and we need, and because of that, you're taking away from the actual fans,
Right.
The actual, and
they're simplifying it
yeah,
too
yeah,
much.
exactly. And I feel like with Ant-Man,
yeah.
they did that.
Yeah, I'd say that too.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It didn't have a real complicated storyline.
Right.
It was just very
And-
straightforward, and it's kind of like what's going to end up happening.
The writing
Right.
is
So-
bad. Yeah, I felt
Uh-oh.
like you can tell it's very predictable.
Right. You knew what was coming up. And
Yeah, and I
that
feel like
sucks.
every MCU movie now, and I'm not hating on MCU because everything before, not everything, but almost everything before Endgame or Infinity War, was great.
It
And
made
it's
made sense. And
Yeah. And it's either you watch it and you're like, okay, that was an okay movie, or you'd watch it and be like, damn, that was fucking great. Like, holy
Right.
shit, that was a fucking good ass movie, right?
right.
And I feel like now the reason why you could say that about those movies is because they all felt independent. And it didn't matter that they were even though they were connected to the universe, they never felt connected in a sense where like James Gunn could go and do Guardians of the Galaxy and you're just like, this is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie that
Right.
so happens these characters exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. You can watch Captain America, Winter Soldier, and be like, it just so happens. You can even watch Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it works. And then after Avengers, watch everyone's solo movies after that, and it still works as a solo movie. You can still feel. I can still go and say Iron Man 2, 3 feel like independent movies, like they're actual own movies. But I feel like the last 2-3 years, they all feel mushed into this agendas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're like, okay, this has to fit this. Every story needs to be connected, and you need to make sure these characters are involved. And because of that, you don't really get to get these movies or characters shine. Like
I see where you,
people, Spider-Man. I'll take for example. People love the new Spider-Man. Like, they talk about, it's one of the greatest movies ever. And I'm like, I feel like people only say that because Tobey and Andrew are there, right? And as a filmmaker, like, and someone who enjoys movies, I enjoyed the nostalgic feel of seeing Tobey there.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Oh, for sure.
I love
yeah,
them.
that was
my
awesome.
big thing.
Yeah, I watched the movie and I was like, damn, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again. I was like, this movie kind of sucks. Like, I'm like, this movie is not that good. I'm like, cool. They gave us Andrew and Tobey, but they gave it, and people will fucking fight me for this because they keep, but they showed us them and introduced us them in the wackest and most just like the worst way possible to introduce us to those characters. People were like, no, I think that was great the way they did Andrew and Tobey. I go, no, it was garbage. CGI was bad. Like the way they just came out of there was terrible. Everything about it was bad. And then like, their chemistry when they're all in the lab coats and blah, blah. I go, that's fan service. Get out of here, guys. Like that's just like the whole like, oh, look at us. We're all working. Shut up. No, get out of here. Like, no. Tom Holland Spider-Man sensing Green Goblin's sense. Shut up. Did you see Tobey's movies? Did you see Andrew Garfield's movies? Like, what is going on here? Like, how are y'all so? Them swinging together. I'm like, the shots are garbage. All of it's CGI. Like, this isn't really happening. I'm not enjoying these movies anymore because none of it is actually happening. I love X-Men because I'm actually fucking seeing Hugh Jackman fucking fighting with fucking Cyclops or fighting with Sabretooth. Like, you're watching CGI characters. Like, and if we're gonna go off of that, then hey, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a way better movie than the last one.
The Spider-Verse.
It's amazing. And so people are like, but it's not the same. It is because it's all almost CGI.
The whole thing.
Everything. It's all CGI. Like, so because of that, we're not actually able to see these people work and get it. Imagine seeing. Obviously, there needs to be CGI for some of the scenes on Spider-Man, right?
Right.
But
you have to.
For sure. But like, think about, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like, how great they used the CGI when they needed. Like, when they knew, like, okay, we need to make sure Spider-Man can do these movies in the air and stuff, they were like, okay, cool. And then only that, they would still use models, right? And then actually put the models there and combine it with the world.
Just for those scenes.
Exactly.
Right. Not for the whole movie.
Exactly. And you're getting the actual actors doing the CGI. You're getting the actual actors doing, like, the actual stuff, which is great. John Wick. I mean, imagine if you were seeing nothing but CGI fight scenes. You'd be like, what the fuck is this, right? So I think that's the issue with MCU. I think there's just so much CGI. I mean, you're getting amazing actors. You're getting fucking Christian Bale. And then you got a fucking shitty ass movie like Thor: Love and Thunder, where I'm just like, everyone's like, oh, well, the movie's terrible, but Christian Bale's character, I'm like, no, Christian Bale's character was terrible. Christian Bale was amazing, but you didn't get to see anything because they didn't utilize Christian Bale like the way Christopher Nolan did him on Batman. The way that anybody's done Christian Bale, like, you don't utilize these characters, these actors, the way they should be, the way they used to. When you knew Chris Evans was going to play Captain America, Chris Evans came as Captain America. And you were like, damn, this motherfucker's playing Captain America. Like, holy shit. Now it's like, oh, fucking Christian Bale's going to play the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder. But you watch and you're like, well, there's 15 minutes of screen time. And then it's the worst. You're talking about how he's this best villain. But he's not doing shit. He's a god killer. He kills one god.
Yeah,
and even that,
just acts weak the whole time. Just
Then he's like,
yeah, it's bad.
I know.
And then same thing with King. They're like, oh, King's the conqueror. Like, he's the best. He's this fucking like just this hyped up villain. And I'm like, Marvel does a great job at hyping us for everything. Oh, this movie's gonna be the bloodiest. Oh, this movie's gonna be the most goriest. Oh, this movie's gonna be the one where, this is like everything. And then you watch and you go like, mediocre. Like, what are we doing here?
They did Thanos really well. They pumped him up well.
Perfect.
And then they even led him at the end of the first Avengers, not the Endgame, but the other one,
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
They let him kind of dominate that movie where he was the villain, and that's what people I don't understand why movies do this and they don't pump up the villain more. Like Kang should be kicking people's ass left and right,
Yes.
like Thor or like Thanos kicked people's ass for a while, and then it took the Endgame to finally conquer him, but it still took a hell of a lot from all the heroes to take his ass down. And I mean, we're talking all of them were trying to take his ass down, and it still took a shit ton to do it.
Yeah.
And he's not even the strongest fucking villain out there. And he's only strong with the gauntlet. I mean, he's a powerful being, but when he has the gauntlet, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about Galactics and
Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, Living Tribunal. You know, I think he's coming to the MCU. But Kang is one of the biggest guys, and if he's getting taken down in this movie fairly easy, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be very upset. I mean, just like in the very first Batman with Michael Keaton, Joker dying. Why the fuck are you killing these people off?
Yeah.
Why do villains die so quick? Just like in Ultron, they killed the Ultron Marvel movie. They killed Ultron
Immediately.
Immediately, you know, and they kill all these villains off so quickly. But in the comics, these villains keep coming back.
They're part of the universe.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not meant to die.
Yeah, they're not killing them every comic.
You Christopher Nolan had made, and I've said I love Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan made the worst Batman adaptation, like the worst like comic cartoon Batman movie, but he made one of the best Batman worlds, like the best of his own. Like
Dark Knights.
I love the Dark Knight trilogy.
The Dark Knights, yeah.
I fucking love it. You
I
know,
agree.
not as
I love the
all
realism
three of them.
it.
he's
Yeah.
not a, obviously Christian Bale's not the Batman, but like for that universe, I'm like fucking just chef's kiss, like fucking amazing, right? But Christopher Nolan knows how to treat his villains. Like none of the villains died in any of the movies, and that's how the cartoons work. That's how the comics work. Like, Ra's al Ghul dies, right? But he doesn't die, right? And then Scarecrow, 1, 2, and 3. He's all in there. He's a backup character. He's in the back. You're like, this is dope.
Two-Face though, but
Two-Face, but
the
like,
way they rolled his face over, it almost looked like he was smiling a little bit. It almost seemed like they left it open, but then I don't know if they're ever. I mean, obviously they've ended that trilogy, so I doubt he's going to ever come back.
The reason why I felt like I was okay with the Joker, with Two-Face is because I knew the Nolan universe was going to be 3 movies.
Yeah,
and like to keep Scarecrow to be a villain to consistently be there in the background was great. To have Joker on part 2 and then on part 3 be like the Joker got out of jail, you're like, oh, he's alive, and then bring Bane in. Like I feel like it's okay to kill off one of the characters, the Two-Face, especially if you're like there's not going to be any more, but. If there's gonna be more, you don't kill Two-Face.
No,
you don't fucking kill
because
Two-Face.
that's what I thought was dumb. I was like, they brought him in. He had like 30 minutes of screen time or something like
Two-Face?
that. Yeah.
No, he was. As
At
Two-Face.
the end,
Yes.
Yeah, because he turned into Two-Face, and then it was like a little bit, and then it's like he fell off and died.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah, I felt like it fit the universe, and I felt like Marvel doesn't do that correctly, where they should. The only character they've done right, and they've only done that by accident, is Loki.
Right.
Where like they didn't kill the character off, but they've only done that accidentally because fans keep wanting him back. So they're like, all right, he's not dead.
He's hot. Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah.
And that's what my daughters keep going to. They're like, they love Loki as the actor. But
hot?
I keep and I keep telling them like, no, read the comic books and you're gonna hate fucking Loki. Because I hate Loki. I hate the Skrulls and I hate Loki. Because those two just piss you off throughout all the comic books that you're reading. The Skrulls turn into anybody that they can transform into any Marvel hero or villain. And so there's comic books literally that you're going through and you're reading them and you're thinking that it's Hulk doing these things, and then next thing you know, it's a fucking Skrull. You're like, you goddamn it! It's like I hate these damn things. And so I try to get under my daughter's skins every time that Loki comes on. It's like, oh, there's the jackass. It's like, no, he's so hot. He's gorgeous. Like, no. Read the fucking comics and you will hate this fucker.
No, Marvel's done a good job at I'm making him a lovable character.
Right.
But like
kind of like an anti-hero kind of, or not really anti-hero, but like that.
He's
the
villain.
bad guy, but he's the you know,
Well, yeah. In
he's calmed down
Right,
enough or whatever.
right.
well,
He's-
they give you reasons why you should side with him and be like, oh, I understand him
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, but not even too much as a villain. Like with Thanos, you can see him as a villain and you
Right.
can understand. You're like, fuck, like I kind of get him, but you're also like, but he's a fucking villain. Like, I get it. And
Right.
Thanos was perfect. He was hyped up,
Mhm.
really good,
Mhm.
very, very good. Like, or you were like, he was in the background character, right?
Right.
And they were doing that okay with Kang. So we're like Kang and
They
Thanos.
started it, yeah.
They started it. The start of Kang and Thanos, like this hype of like this mysterious, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
big bad villain, started off the same. Like you're both like, okay, like we're doing Kang like we did Thanos, right? They show Thanos. The first time they show Thanos, like he's not doing much. He's on Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And you're kind of like, okay, he's this big motherfucking titan that you don't really get to see. You're just seeing this big fucker, right?
Right.
And he doesn't do much, right? But he's also around Gamora and fucking what's his name?
Nebula.
Nebula and Destroyer, Ronan.
Ronan. Yeah. And they
And-
killed Ronan off quick. Like Ronan's gone.
Exactly.
Fuck.
And the worst way too. One of the worst possible ways. fucking footloose dance off. And so I felt like then when they finally show Thanos, right? Like the
Right.
actual like finally you get to see this big
whole guy.
bad titan, right? He just killed everybody on Thor's ship, right? He's walking on top of everybody.
Right.
He's got Loki, and he's choking him to death.
Right.
He kills him.
Breaks his neck.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
Chokes him
about
out.
to go fucking kill. And then homeboy they were like, fuck this, kill homeboy. They kill what's his name, Idris Elba's character. They're about to kill him. Heim or something.
Some
Oh, the gatekeeper of
Hayden
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Well,
Thor's best friend.
yeah, they're about to kill him. They're about to kill Thor. Hulk comes up,
it's my homemade.
fucking
Yeah, just
yeah.
boxes the shit
Yeah,
out
just
of him.
fucking like you. That's where you realize like, oh, Thor can't fight. Like he's just he's just strong. Like he can't
Yeah.
fight, right? And only reason that he did not, because he killed Loki. Only reason he didn't kill Thor and Hulk right there. Well, he wouldn't be able to kill Hulk. Only reason he didn't kill Thor was because they opened up the gate and he got away real quick. Thor and Hulk, they were able to get away. That was the only reason. But when they showed Thanos, you're like, oh, he's not playing.
Right.
Oh, he's coming in like he's
Right.
he's like cashing in on everything. He's like, fuck you. Oh, you like this character? Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You like this? Fuck you. Like, he's coming in. Now they could have killed a little bit more of the Avengers, I felt. But he did a great job. You fall in love with Vision, and Thanos is like, I don't give a fuck.
I know.
Yeah, just like,
Give me
fuck
that.
you. Yeah, like he doesn't
Right.
care. Like he's like, I'm here to do what needs to be, right?
Right.
That's the villain that you were like, damn, okay, like
Exactly.
we're about to fucking see that. Now with Kang, it's the opposite. You watch Ant-Man and like, not to give you spoilers of exactly
Right,
what
that's
happens,
fine.
but like it's more of like you hear how bad he is. You hear like he's bad, and you're like, okay, like
So you're waiting for
yeah,
it.
like no one wants to talk about him. Like, oh,
Right.
we don't talk about him. Fucking,
Right.
Janice. What's her name? Janice.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's
Oh,
Michelle
yeah.
Pfeiffer.
yeah, Michelle
Yeah.
Pfeiffer's character.
Whatever.
We don't talk about him. We don't talk about him.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Like we don't talk about what like I mean they hype up like why she doesn't talk about him, why she never brought him up,
Mhm.
why no one speaks of him, yada yada yada, right? And you're just like, okay, like I'm about to see, I've seen the trailers. I'm like,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though this shit looks like Spy Kids 3D, I'm like, I'm still entertained right now. I'm having a good time. I'm
Right.
like, okay, it's a little silly, corny. Some of the lines. I love Paul Rudd though, so
Especially with
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Rudd. Paul Rudd's
Paul
gonna be a
Rudd.
little
He's a-
nutty.
He's
and
a sweetheart.
but Paul Rudd gets a pass. So Paul Rudd is my boy.
Jared's
like,
gonna spoon him.
Yeah, right,
one of these
Jared?
days.
And so I'm waiting to finally see King, right? And they
Right.
finally like, there's a part where like they're like, oh, whatever, you brought King, blah blah blah, and you're like, okay, I'm about to see King in
Right,
action,
here he comes.
and you get to see his minions in action, and that's it. You're like, okay, all right, and then the whole movie like, you don't get to see King in action. Like, what pisses me off is like you see the trailer part where he's like,
He's like
oh.
screaming and like
yeah,
yelling.
like that
and stuff.
part right there. You're
Yeah,
just
what
like,
is-
oh, I'm about to fucking see what's going on. And
Right.
I mean,
Nothing.
nothing, right?
What?
Nothing. Like what you see, you're just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
wait, this guy's supposed to be more powerful than Thanos, like as far as strong, like he's just like whatever, right? Nothing. And then like they hype up like, oh man, the Ant-Man scene with Kang. When you guys see that Ant-Man scene with Kang, you guys are gonna feel bad and understand Kang's like villainous. And then I watch it, and I'm like, I feel like you guys don't watch movies. I feel like the only movies you got people think exist are the MCU movies because
Yeah.
the things
Right.
people say about these and again like, and this I'm only talking about the new movies. I love Marvel movies. I love the older Marvel movies. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
them, love them, love them. Everything pre-fucking Infinity War, and then including Endgame after that, I
Right.
fucking love MCU. Right? I'm there at fucking midnight premiere. I'm one of those. Right?
Right.
But I'm
Face paint.
but I feel, yeah, but I feel like I've been such a hardcore fan since fucking 2008 that I can now that it's finally it's finally turned the last few years that I can finally say like, no, fuck, like Marvel's going down, you know, and they just I don't know, it just was not
The biggest thing on
Not
that
good.
too, and I was nervous about this, is when Stan Lee died.
oh yeah.
When Stan Lee passed, I'm like, what's gonna happen to the movies?
But I don't feel like he had any creative
I don't think.
Yeah.
control
He-
over it.
No, I think he gave ideas though.
Correct.
I think he gave ideas, and I think he was like, "Hey, this guy's stronger than this." Like,
Yeah.
I think he was able to tell the producers, like, "No,
How it
Thanos
worked.
would be able to kick his ass.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that he kicks his ass. When Hulk comes up here and starts boxing him, Thanos should be able to kick his ass without a gauntlet, without anything, because that's how powerful he is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you just showed for 5 or 6 movies how great Hulk is
Mhm.
and how billy badass he is. Make Thanos take his ass down to show the audience what type of titan
Yeah.
this guy is.
exactly what they're about to expect.
Right.
Who's coming in?
And that's what they should have done with Kang. They should have had somebody on a pedestal, somebody major
Yeah.
that Kang just brings to their knees to understand. They don't have to kill him,
Yeah.
but bring him to their knees, bring him down to let you know how powerful Kang is.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree.
like when they introduce Galactics, he is the eater of worlds. This being swallows planets whole, and he uses Silver Surfer to do this. And one of my favorite characters is Silver Surfer. And so when they introduce Galactics, if they ever do, they better make his ass a Billy Badass, because that's what he is. He's the
I don't feel
size
like
of the
they would.
universe, and he needs to be able to dominate that.
I feel like they do him like they did Ego on Guardians too.
I know.
I feel like that's what they
That's
would go
the
for.
ego,
like,
yeah.
Well, and like
Fucking
even
Kurt Russell.
yeah, and even thinking it as like
Be like Tom Selleck or something.
I think that's what they would do. Very charming, like older fucking guy. Like I definitely think that's what they would do.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, that's not out of here, bro. Like that's definitely something that they would do. I feel like that's
Don't
just
fuck with this mustache.
the direction that they would head into.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope they turn it around. I mean, and I have been sticking up for the movies for the most part of just, remember the first movies. Not every movie's going to be in game.
For sure,
Not every movie's going to be that type of caliber. You've got to build up to
Yeah.
something.
But at the same time,
they need
we
to build
got
up
used
to
to
something.
that for a while. 'Cause
Right.
You had like Civil War, and then you had Infinity
Ragnarok.
War, Endgame, and then Ragnarok.
Ragnarok
had,
was badass.
Hulk and him. So you
Mhm.
had so many of these like team up movies
Right.
almost that was one solo movie, and then you just got used to every
For
movie
sure.
introduced someone new or had multiple characters in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because like the Doctor Strange one, that
I didn't-
really was upsetting for my
I didn't
daughter.
like that.
She's a huge Scarlet Witch fan, and Scarlet should have shown off her talent there, and she did a little bit. I mean, she had some good things, but it was a little blah.
They overhype it. I'm
They,
telling you.
they do.
Tell you
They've been overhyping.
you're
them a
gonna
lot.
get all this, and then you watch it, and you're just like, I'm not getting nothing. Like you're giving me like a little bit, like a little,
Right.
like here you go. Here's a
Right.
little salt. Like it's.
And one thing I keep telling my kids too, and they've read a couple comic books of mine, but the superheroes not being at their full force too. Like, every time they introduce Spider-Man or every time they introduce somebody else, it's like they're at their weakest point and they don't know
Yeah.
their
they're
full
just
potential.
learning their
yeah
powers and
they're
stuff,
learning
and
how to throw the shield. They're
Yeah.
learning what all their stuff is. And there's so many comic books. Yeah, you learn that, but as they grow and as you read comic books, they get more powerful too.
Yeah.
So like Spider-Man, he should know whenever he his Spidey sense should be going off all the fucking time.
Oh, he's got.
But there's so many times he gets hit with something, and you're like,
Yeah.
where's the fucking spider sense? Like, god damn it.
We got 3
We're
movies
like
with him.
20 movies in,
Yeah.
and you don't have this yet?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think people claiming Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best. I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it yet, and I feel like the reason why is because he's being held back because, unfortunately, his Spider-Man movies are MCU movies. They're not Spider-Man movies.
Mhm.
So if you watch it, I mean, every movie, there's Iron Man, there's a different MCU. There's
Yeah.
you know the Shield. You know, I mean, it all.
Happy. all that,
Yeah, like even the first one with Vulture, like it was based around the Avengers Tower. It was based around the equipment, the Tony Stark. It was based around Tony Stark being the bad guy about it and how much they hate Tony Stark. And then part 2, like even then, like nothing, everything was. It's just it's all part of the MCU. It's what's gonna benefit the MCU.
Yeah.
It's never what's gonna benefit you. It's what's gonna benefit the MCU. What's gonna move the MCU to the next step. That's where they're going wrong.
Right. They were introducing Spider-Man into the MCU there, and so they kind of spun it to
because
that.
like imagine like
I could see that.
like
but-
if we were to make a cinematic universe in in the 90s, early 2000s, you're telling me that you couldn't see X-Men with fucking Blade and with like with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? Fuck yeah, you could.
Oh yeah.
How gritty those
Nice.
movies were, and they you could go like, you know what, they're all in the same universe, and you'd be like, it feels like that. It feels
Yeah.
like,
Right.
you know what, I believe that they all are, right? And even though they all stand alone, and even though they never said that they are, you can feel like they are. And I feel like, unfortunately, today, because you know they're all together, and they forcefully make sure that you have to know they're all connected, none of the movies are going to come out great no more. They're all going to, a lot of them are going to fail. A lot of them are going to, like, I mean, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, like, you're telling me like that's what you can give me for Wanda? That's what you can give me for the Scarlet Witch? Like, this is what
Right.
she can do?
She almost took down Thanos single-handedly in the end game. And then then her very next movie is Doctor Strange. What was it called? Doctor Strange?
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
Madness.
Where
Yeah,
she gets
Multiverse
stronger.
of Madness. Yeah, she's supposed to be stronger now. She's supposed to be.
She's been working out.
Yeah, she's been doing all these things,
Doing her
and
witch ups.
she's mediocre at best. I mean, literally, if Thanos didn't rain down thunder with that ship of sending all those
Yeah.
missiles down,
Yeah.
Scarlet
Oh,
Witch would
yeah.
have killed Thanos.
He would have been dead immediately.
and she could have. I mean, in the comics, Scarlet is one of the most powerful beings in the comics. I mean, she's a badass.
And I want to point out that you make a good point. I think the scene where you get to see Scarlet almost kill Thanos, it to me is the perfect example of showing and not telling. Like when you're trying to show us who's someone's strength,
Right.
that is the perfect example of you going like, oh, she's strong,
Right. And
But whoa, she can do this.
And I think that's where Stan came in. I think like the producers did something. It's like, okay, we'll bring in Scarlet. She'll come in. She's all pissed off that Thanos killed her loved one, and we'll have her do a couple things. And then I think that's when Stan came in. It's like, no, Scarlet can kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet can literally take him down. And they're like, oh, okay. So I think that's what we might be missing going forward. Is just those little hints of little things that Stan just put in there of like, hey, no, I made this character to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I made this character to be able to do that. So, and that might be where we're at now, which sucks because then, Marvel's going to come down to where DC's at. And I mean, DC's like up and down. They'll have a great one, and then they'll have a shit one. Like, and they'll be the same one. Like Wonder Woman 1, the first Wonder Woman, badass, fucking nailed it, awesome. And then the second one was dog shit,
garbage.
I mean, total horse shit.
it was just a complete like
Yeah.
reverse.
Like,
Like
what the fuck
We're
happened?
gonna go back. She's not gonna fight. She's gonna be about love.
Yeah.
We're not gonna kill nobody.
Yay.
The villain's
Make
gonna
love,
be
not
this.
war.
Like it was. Yeah, it was bad. The ending too, like the way it ended, I was like, get the fuck. And
Right.
I'm a DC.
Right.
Like I'm DC over Marvel 100%.
Okay.
I'm
Cool. Okay.
I'm Batman.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
that
I'm
Batman.
Yeah, I'm a Batman.
Nice.
Batman
fanatic,
brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. I DC all day for me.
Okay.
So like I'm a DC groupie, so I'm always defending DC. But I also tell you, I'm like, just because I'm a DC like fanatic, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna admit what the fucking bad movie. Like
of course.
the last. I mean, I talk about Marvel. And people are like, "Oh, but you're excited for Aquaman and Shazam." I go, "Fuck no!"
Right.
Like First of all, the first Shazam wasn't that good.
No.
Aquaman, I remember it's me and my sister still talk about this day. I'm a Zack Snyder groupie. I love Zack Snyder. Like to me, Zack Snyder does no
Snyder's
bad. Sorry, Snyder does no harm, and obviously, right. I know people don't like him. You know, a lot of people, but me and my sister are just like, I love Zack Snyder. I love the dark that he brings. I love the darkness, and Man of Steel to me is one of the best superhero movies ever. And I remember how pumped we were. We saw Man of Steel. We've seen Batman vs Superman. You know, obviously people are not like it. I love Batman vs Superman. Ben Affleck to me, my Batman. And then we're finally getting hyped up, you know, all these movies or whatever. And then we're like, we're going to watch Aquaman. But this is where all these controversies happening already, where like Zack Snyder's not really in control as much no more.
Right.
And then, you know, I love James Wan. So I'm like, you know what? He's done horror movies. I'm down, you know, like I'm with it. And I remember the moment that Aquaman and Mera come out of the water and you hear that pit bull, all around the world. And I remember looking at my sister and she looked at me, she goes, I miss Zack Snyder. I go, I do too. And after that, and that's when I knew it was the downfall of DC was happening right there. Like I knew I was like, I just love that dark, gritty world. So even though people didn't love Suicide Squad, I liked it. I didn't love it.
I liked the first Suicide Squad.
I didn't love like everything about it, but I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it, and I love the world. I love the world building, the characters, and you know people didn't like it. And then again, then you go from those movies to Aquaman, and I'm just like, what are we doing? I know, here, man.
Like, how do you make that turn? I mean,
it's
I don't understand it.
I don't know, but I'm not excited for Aquaman 2. I could give two shits for that movie. I can give Shazam. Like, what's gonna bring me in there? Fucking dragon? Like, get the fuck out. Like, I have no care for any of these movies whatsoever. Left, and honestly, I'm tired of superhero movies. Like, I think I'm at the point where
I think people are gonna get there.
Yeah.
Especially if they are not
as
going the direction
right.
If the quality's not gonna be there. No, you got to have the quality to keep it going.
I felt like DC was doing good whether you and even if you didn't like the movie or not, because again, there's movies some of the movies that I didn't like Aquaman whatsoever. I didn't really like Shazam as much, but the reason why I felt those were good is because even though they sucked, I was like, well, I can see the director's vision in this, like, and I can see like they were like, you have free control of this, you know,
right?
And with Marvel, it's always like, no, you don't. You have all the creative control, but then when it comes to the editing room, they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
step away from here, you know, and that's where the downfall, you know, and so that's why I think the DC movies stand out more because of that reason. If it wasn't for that and they were all connected, then they'd be all mushed up and you wouldn't even really know what DC movie was what. But that's why people remember Suicide Squad more than they remember Ant-Man 1 or 2. That's why, and if people hate Suicide Squad, people will remember Batman vs Superman more than they remember a lot more of the Marvel movies, because that, you know, so many people don't like that movie. But now people are coming back going like, holy shit, like all the DC movies that started coming out, people were like, you know what? Maybe we were wrong. We kind of want Zack Snyder back. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's too late now. Now you got James Gunn and Peter Safran or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. I like James Gunn, so I'm not.
James Gunn's pretty good. I don't know too much about Peter.
Same.
Yeah, he might be all right.
I just don't want it to be too like kid friendly and like
that's
PG-13.
what I'm afraid of.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, just do it justice by making it what it needs to.
Some adult, because your prime audience is going to be the adults.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
People are like, no, it's for kids. They're the ones who buy toys.
Then why do you keep doing the same characters that have been around for this
long?
I see more adults buying toys than kids. I'm like, do this for the adults. Come on, man. Like,
if you see the price of toys now, it's like $20-$25 for an action figure.
Yeah,
and they're like $5 a piece when I was a kid.
Exactly.
They're getting there, man. They're up there,
and they're all like highly detailed and shit. Like, what kid is gonna appreciate that? Like some 7-year-olds and they're eating a booger. Like thanks, mom.
Hot Wheels were like 90 cents back in the day. Now they're like $4.
Yeah,
some of the Hot Wheels.
Some of the Hot Wheels are up there now. Some exclusive ones. I remember I bought a Batman one for like $8.99. I was like, get the fuck out of here. But I bought it.
But I bought it.
Yeah,
I had to.
Yeah,
say no to that.
Because I always like those collector toys. And stuff. Like, I'm just like,
same.
Like, I don't need it, but that's why I got all this shit up here on my shelf. Of like,
that's what I love about 181 Comics and Collected. You know, they have all that shit. Like, I'll go into their shop and he's got all the He-Mans, he's got all the Thundercats. I'm like, fuck. I had this, I had that. You know,
I want them all.
Right. It's like, why did I get rid of them? Or Actually, I think my parents sold them in a fucking garage sale.
Dude, that's my problem. Is my parents sold all my toys. Like
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
year,
same.
we'd have a garage sale, and they'd sell all my toys whenever I get new ones, and wouldn't play with those. So.
Where are my old
Yeah.
toys at? Yep, I don't
No.
know.
I've lost like the Ghostbusters car, the Ninja Turtle van,
Shit that's
like
like
my-
rare now.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff that I'm like, God, I would kill to have that
I
toy.
would say, what was your favorite toy? Like your go-to toy back in the day? You
I
just
really
had
love my
like-
Power Ranger toys.
Okay.
I love those. The Talk Boy was actually really fun to play with.
Oh yeah.
I had one of those.
Yeah, you had the
and it
Talk
was
Boy?
Cool. Yeah, I had the Talk Boy and then the Talk Boy FX Plus, which was the pin one.
Okay.
And you could record a little bit and it had like built-in sound effects.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
And then what else did I like? I was big into like Ninja Turtle toys for
Me too.
longest time, and
Very big.
then
Had the Ninja Turtle van.
yeah,
No, I had that too. I had the Ninja Turtle van.
Yep.
had the because I'd go through
the blimp
phases.
thingy. I had that one too.
Oh yeah, the
See, I
blimp.
never had the
I didn't
blimp.
have the blimp. My buddy had the blimp though.
And fucking what's his fucking name?
Oh,
Shredder?
Crane?
No, the big fucking I had the big motherfucker on wheels.
Yeah, that big ball thing.
What was it called?
remember.
I'm so mad because I know
Bebop?
the name. No.
Bebop,
it's,
Rocksteady. What was?
Oh, that's the villains. It's a big like metal ball looking thing with a little ball on top, isn't it?
They go into like this different dimension, and that's where the balls. I forgot what it's called. In terms
I remember that.
I don't know, but
Huh.
'cause I had all the regular toys and I loved all that stuff, and I had like Ghostbusters toys. And I had the Ghostbusters car.
Yep.
Dude, I had like all these. I had the Batmobile, like the Michael Keaton one.
Yep.
I had the Turtle van. I had the Ghostbusters car. Like I
Yeah.
had like a little car lot.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so fucking cool. But to have
Yeah, I had
that
Kit.
stuff now,
I had the Knight Rider Kit.
I never had that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a DeLorean at one point. They would go around and go, and go, and then it would go down and it just like randomly spin and turn.
Right.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the Turtles. I had a lot of the Thundercats. I was a big Thundercat fan growing up.
I never did Thundercats.
Voltron.
Dimension X.
Okay.
Dimension X.
Yeah, that's what the thing was called.
I'll have to see it. Voltron was a big deal for me, and I think that was one reason why I couldn't get into the Power Rangers. Like my stepbrothers loved the Power Rangers.
yeah.
Like every day after school, they'd be watching Power Rangers, and I'd be watching it
shit.
with them, and I'd be like, I get it, but I don't know if I thought that they were making fun of Voltron or what they were doing, but I was just taking offense of like, dude, this is Voltron. I mean, you guys are you form one big villain or one big giant guy to
Yeah.
take out the villains. I'm like, it's just like Voltron. We have 5 guys, and they all get into these lions, and they form one big Voltron. I'm like, you guys are just copying off Voltron. But I started watching
but
more
they're
and
not
more.
5 ordinary teenagers.
Right. and Voltron was a cartoon. These guys were actually
What year? What year were you born?
78.
Okay, so you're 78. So then Power Rangers was definitely one of those like where like it was the newer.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
because
sense.
Power Rangers came in, late 80s?
It was
No, they were
early
90s.
90s.
Early 90s?
91,
93,
92? Something like
I
that.
would say it had to be early 90s if,
See, I was born in
late
91,
80s.
so Power
It
Rangers
was like
my
93,
shit.
94.
That's where I
somewhere
came in.
Yeah.
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 Because my stepbrothers are your guys' age. So,
Really cool.
32.
yeah. And I'm 44, so I was 10 years older than them or around there. So,
You're my brother's age.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Saturday morning cartoons was the shit.
Yeah.
I love Saturday morning cartoons. Cartoons
Oh, yeah.
nowadays
They were
are
good
nothing.
back then.
No one
Yeah.
gets to experience how good
Yeah.
the cartoons were
Oh, I
from
know.
the 80s to I would say early 2000s is when it really
Yeah.
ended.
I
And,
tried 2005.
and what I mean by that is like even if I can see the generations enjoying, even if like you didn't like the early 2000s, like I'm like it was still good, right?
Right.
Where like today, I'm like there's nothing good. Like
Yeah,
I
they
don't
try
see
to make
it.
them too educational now.
It's
it
just
seems
weird.
like.
Yeah.
Not only that, they just try to. Sometimes they try to make it too like trendy or too.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is what's in. Instead of like, no, just create something that could fucking
Yeah.
pop somehow. You know, like,
Oh.
and it's very rare for that. Like cartoon. You know, like you said, you'd wake up Saturday morning and you'd be like, there was bangers on 3 different channels.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like
from 6
cartoons.
to
All,
noon,
yeah,
you were
fucking set.
Set.
Yeah,
bro.
and then
6
they had
a.m.
the
to
theme
noon.
song.
Oh
the
yeah.
Sunday morning, wake up time.
Oh fuck! I remember that shit, bro.
One Saturday morning.
Damn.
5 hours of summer once a week.
Hey, you know what's crazy is like they made you wake up early.
Yeah.
Right.
On the day you wanted to sleep in because you just went
Yeah.
to school for
Oh,
5
yeah.
fucking
You're just
days.
and back you're a kid. You don't have an alarm.
No.
And you can't tell your mom, wake me up at 7 so I can
No.
watch one Saturday
Batman
morning.
Beyond.
I always wake up early. Even to this day, I wake up early. My sister would wake up at noon, and I've already watched like 20 cartoons.
Yeah, you already went through the whole day. Yeah, same. I loved it, man. That was
yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the
was
best
awesome.
fucking
Amazing.
time, man.
Mhm.
And watching, and what was cool is like today, what sucks is like you get so many different options of like shows or anything, so you're able to like be like, you know what, I don't want to watch this, or like I don't want to give this a chance, and yada yada yada. Right? And back in the
Right.
day, I would remember, like TV to me was my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
That to
Mine
me
too.
was everything.
It
I
was.
love movies, shows, like that was
TGIF.
every fucking thing, man. I
Yeah.
was fucking just on it, and so as like fuck, I forgot what I was.
It was almost kind of like how families bonded back then. Like,
yeah.
my
Oh,
parents,
for sure.
my parents got a divorce when I was about 10. And we stayed with my dad. And my dad, he's ex-Marine, so he's kind of tough guy. But TGIF, I always remember we'd watch, Family Matters, and then
Step by Step.
Step by Step, Home Improvement, I think was in there.
Were they?
I
think
don't
they were
know.
on TGI. They were
No.
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they were just on Tuesdays. I don't think they were part of the TGIF. Dinosaurs was
Yeah.
on
I was on
TGIF.
there for a while.
You talking about the old like
Not the mama?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the
Sinclair.
one we didn't like. I think that one we didn't like too much, but we liked all the other ones.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was Family Home Videos after TGI Friday.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I mean, that's
They
what
had
you
good
ate
TVs
dinner.
back then. It was more
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you wanted to sit there because
Right.
I remember
Well,
that
that was
we
the
don't.
time you get the chance to watch. You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I have at this time on this day only.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'd
Yeah.
have. Yeah, that was another thing is you either watched it then or you had to record it on your VCR or
Or
something.
you're
like
done.
that.
No, you
Yeah.
missed
You
it.
couldn't go
Right.
on
That
YouTube
was
the
it.
next
Yeah, you
day.
can't go back
Yeah.
and stream watch this
Yeah,
shit.
and all
Yeah,
your friends
but-
are gonna talk about it.
We'd always have dinner like 6 o'clock or something like that, and then we'd have to take our shower and then we'd go watch TV for the rest of the night, like
Right.
from 7
Yeah.
to 9 or so.
Right.
Yeah, I love scrolling and just catching a random ass show or something I've never seen, a movie that I've never seen, show. That's where I caught I found G4. I used to watch that at night. The game channel.
Okay.
Do you remember that G4? It was I love just how weird, dude. I just realized I have my fucking.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just grabbed it. It was called G4.
Oh,
G and the
that's
number
beautiful.
four?
Yeah, G and the number 4, and it was on TV, and they had nothing but like cool like sci-fi game stuff.
Yeah.
And then they had like a sci-fi channel too. They had the sci-fi channel where you could find nothing but cool, interesting, weird fucking
Yeah.
shows. Like you're like, what is it? Like movies that like I don't know. I always tell my kid, I'm like, man, if I could take you back, if I can go back in time and take you back to time, it would be somewhere in my childhood, like in middle school, maybe late elementary, middle school somewhere, and I would just take you back to a time where I was in my room just watching TV all day, seeing all the shows I watched, seeing me go play outside, like see just how fun it was just to
Yeah.
scroll through the channels, not knowing what you're gonna watch, not knowing what's on TV, not knowing what's coming up next, and being like, oh, this looks cool, this looks bad, like just having that experience of just being a kid and not knowing what to expect next.
Right.
Because like
Yeah.
today you try to plan everything so much, like
Oh.
what to do,
Yeah.
and like you're not thinking for yourself no more. You're not becoming yourself. You're not having your own thoughts. And back then, like, of course, we're all getting programmed, but back then you were just programmed into things you liked.
Yeah.
Right.
You were like, I like that, and you got into
Right.
it. And now it's like, you should like this, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing that sucks. And
Yeah,
I would
it's
love
pushed on you.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
So I would love to take my son back in time to actually show him, like, bro,
What it was
that-
like to think for
yeah,
yourself.
It ain't like it was today, man. Back in the day, it
No.
was like you don't get to experience the TV in the mornings and all the cartoons. Like
Yeah.
the other day, he's 13, so the other day he showed me a YouTube show and he was like, "Oh, I remember I used to watch this when I was a kid. Like this is what I watched when I was a kid." And I was like, boy, like that's such a strange thing to say. Like this YouTube video is what, like these YouTuber is what you watched. Like this is your childhood. Like, because I'm like, what? Like, I'm talking about the Jackie Chan show and Tiny Toons and Looney Tunes,
James Bond Jr.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like Bobby's World, Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Like it's Street Sharks. Like I'm so confused.
Street
like,
Sharks.
Yeah.
Oh man,
those are my toys.
Biker Mice from Mars.
When you asked about those, mine were the Street Sharks. I had the Street
Yep.
Shark toys. I forgot to say that.
Nice.
And Biker Mice from Outer Space, bro.
Yeah.
Biker Mice from Outer
And then
Space.
they had VR Troopers.
Yeah.
And then the Masked Rider. And then what else? There was all around that time they had all these.
Bro, the weirdest. The
Similar,
Ghostbusters show, Men in Black the show.
The Battle Trolls. You remember those?
Earthworm Jim. Oh,
They're like,
I got another one for y'all. This one. Fuck. It's gonna bring. If you guys remember, it's gonna hit a core memory. It's called. Oh, fuck,
anticipation.
fuck. Hold on.
The anticipation.
It's
I don't have any music to go with this.
Freakazoid.
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 That sounds familiar, but
It's that guy. It was a cartoon, and he would turn like blue. Freakazoid. Like he would
I think
turn
you brought
crazy.
this up when I was on your podcast.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Freakazoid.
yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yes.
though.
I remember
Oh
him.
man, I love that show. something.
We didn't-
Freakazoid.
Yeah.
Freakazoid. Yeah, that was a '90s show.
Damn.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim. Yeah, there was so many damn shows that were good back in the day.
So you make your own films. Like, what would you compare your style? Like, who do you kind of model yourself after?
I don't really model myself after anybody, but if I have like,
Just kind of pick and choose what you like from each one.
yeah. But if I were to say like who had the biggest impact on me, it was Nicholas Winding Refn. He's a director. He did Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen that.
Neon Demon. I mean, he to me probably has to be the biggest inspiration because so I remember everyone telling me about, I always wanted to be a filmmaker, but like there was never that spark of like what movie or what movie I wanted to make. Like it was always just like my visions in my mind. I just wanted to get them out there. And I remember someone was like, "You should watch Drive," and this is when it had already came out. And I wanted to watch Drive because of Ryan Gosling already, but I didn't get the chance.
So dreamy.
He is. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I've been dying to watch it. I'm gonna buy it, and it just came out, so I bought it, watched it. The very next day, I went to go buy a camera. I was like, I gotta go because I already had a video camera. Like I was filming. I was a young kid, but like I was at a point in my life where I was like, I don't know if I want. I don't know what I want. I was like, I want to be a filmmaker, but I don't know how to do this. I don't know if I should. Like I don't know if I was like 19. I was like, I don't know if or 20. I forgot. I was like, I don't know if I really or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the jump. And because of that movie, I saw Drive and was like, holy shit! Like this made me feel. I fucking cried. I was like, holy shit! Like this is like cinematically. I mean, visually beautiful. I'm like the music, like everything that I wanted. Like how I would show somebody my movie is what Drive did to me. Like I was like, this is how I would show someone. So when I did my feature film, I did movies after that. So I didn't do Drive. I didn't watch Drive and was like, oh, I made one of the best movies I feel I ever did. No, I watched Drive and then I made like fucking 16 of the worst short films in my entire fucking life. Like, I mean, just garbage. You can throw them. I mean, it was bad. Like, but I tried my hardest on every single one of them. And it wasn't until like getting so much criticism of like how bad my movies were, like just getting criticized so much.
What were they saying was bad about it?
They weren't saying they were bad. I made some serious action movies, and everybody was just kept telling me how funny and hilarious they were. And I was just like inside dying because I'm like, they're supposed to be serious. Like,
It's almost like
what is funny
what's his
about
name?
this?
From The Room. He's trying to make
Tommy
this
Wiseau,
series,
yeah.
and
Oh, right,
everyone
right.
think it's like some big
Yeah.
cult classic now.
Big movie. No, and I was very like, you know, I was just kind of, oh, you know, that's what's up. Thanks for watching, whatever. But like that kind of made me like really like, damn, I need to.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that Drive inspired me to make movies, but like I'm not getting any of that from any of my movies I'm making. I'm just getting some bullshit ass, like, you know, I got
it always looks cooler in your head, and then
Bro.
you can't make it look exactly how you're envisioning.
And not only that, like I remember like seeing YouTube videos where like they were like, you know, someone shot a movie with this camera, you know, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that camera.
Yeah.
Doing my research, and I buy the camera, and I'm like, it doesn't look like this.
No.
It's not looking
It's
like
more in
this.
the editing program
It's what's the lighting? Like I figured
Yeah,
now
lighting too.
I'm like it's lighting, and it is the camera for sure, and the lenses. It's I mean it goes into so much now, but that I finally was like, you know what? I remember making my last film. It was called 2880, half a mile from 2882, and these are where my movies were starting to look way better. Like the quality was way. Those 3 short films, Alejandro, which Alejandro sparked me a lot of attention at in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
People were like, this movie. Oh, Tack. I'm sorry. Tack was the first one. It was a comedy movie, comedy detective movie, and it was okay, but because the quality was good and like they were really like, oh, you know what you're doing. Like they're like the TCU Film Festival. I didn't go to TCC, but the TCC Film Festival was like I entered. They were like, we like your shit. So one of the guys was like, hey, I like this. I want to enter in the Fort Worth Film Festival. And I go, no, I got a better movie. I just did. So I showed him the trailer to Alejandro, my second, which I honestly was like, this is one of my best films at the time. And he was like, oh, this is great. So I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I got like some hype. I'm finally doing some movies that are good. Like, yeah, I'm actually
shopping for bigger houses. And
yeah,
stuff.
like, yeah.
We in the big leagues now.
Hey, we're about to make it. I know I told you for years, but no. And so
I'll go buy that Ferrari.
yeah,
now.
we're good, man. Get that TV you wanted. And so yeah, they got me. I got in the film festival. I had a lot of people like, yo, you're so good, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I was on a high. Like, I was like, fuck yeah.
I was walking around like
I was on like a big high, bro. Yeah, I was like, dude, like people really like recognize. And obviously people in Fort Worth, you know, not a lot of people, you know, I'm in my head. And so I'm in my head. So I'm like, I'm about to make this another film. So I make this one film where like, I mean, we worked on it for like 2 months as far as production, casting, getting the script. And it was like a cop. It was a movie I didn't even want to do. Like it was a movie I felt I needed to do or I should do.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those like cop pull shit. And so I was like, it was just so bad that, and I thought it was so great because like I just thought I was like, don't worry, everything's gonna be done great in editing. And I remember one of my friends, a really good friend of mine, he was my sound guy.
Yeah, sound engineer.
Yeah, my sound engineer. He did the score and stuff for my other movies. And I remember sending him the movie, and then he calls me the next day, and he's like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not." And I took offense to that. I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's just." He goes, "It's just not good, man." He goes, "There's just some things that shouldn't be out there." He goes, "This is one." He goes, and I don't want. He goes, "Look, bro, you're my boy, and I'll do everything. I'll do the score and everything." He goes, "But I don't want to because it's not good. And I really think you should reconsider." And I was just mad. I started getting in my head, and then
it's great he's telling you that, but
yeah, I was like,
still like,
I was like, fuck. You don't know what you're fucking talking about, because he didn't know about film. Like he came into film because of me. Like he was in music. Like he was like a music engineer, and he came into film because of me. So I'm like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about,
right?
And then like, I started watching the movie again, and like just like the last like month of like editing it, like I realized how terrible it was, like how bad. Like I kept showing I kept having like viewings with like just like my brother and like close friends,
right?
And it was like 60-minute movie, and I mean they were all just saying the same thing, like, dude, it's not good, like the acting on this, like this act, like there was like 2 actors that were perfect. Everybody else, they're like, this fucking guy. And then they were like this and
2 out of your 20.
So it was actually 24 minutes long, and I had to cut it all the way down to like 14 because everything was so bad. And it got so short that like nothing was making sense no more. And
the trailer was basically the movie.
Yeah, like the trailer looked good. The trailer looked good. Like I was like, people are like hyped. Like people, you know, I had a small following on Facebook. People were like, oh, I'm waiting to see this movie. And then I was like, no,
I'm not pulling this trigger.
No, I realized like I was making movies that like, well, at that point I stopped. I said, you know what, fuck this. So I stopped, and I was already done. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna release this movie. I had deleted like all the marketing and everything for the movie. Like,
damn,
I took it away from film festivals that I was entering it in. Had to tell everybody else, canceling. Everybody was like, "Oh, really?" And like even the actors, like none of them got to see the movie. So like no one's actually seen the movie besides like my brothers and like close friends, you know, like the people who I was like, I trust you, you know,
right?
And so,
like, oh
yeah. And so after that, I was like,
the lighting was good.
after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do one more thing, and I tried to do a TV show with. He was a famous Vine star at the time, and I got connected with this guy, and we tried to do a TV show together. And as funny as this man is, he's probably one of the worst people to work with when it comes to like actually doing work. Like,
Really?
well, he thought going from 6-second videos to like an actual length, like he just it was very different, and then like he wouldn't show up. He was just very like it was whatever. And after I put a lot of money into that show too, and so I was kind of like, damn, like I was like I was already kind of done with filmmaking. Like I was like, you know what? This was like 2017, 18.
Oh wow.
And I was like, you know what, man? I think I'm done. Like I've done so much already. Like I've done these movies that I felt were like some of the best quality, and like with the budget I can afford, like, it's me out of pocket, and I'm just like, this is, I'm just like, I just was like at the point where I'm like, I'm not good. Like I'm like, I've like, let's just get it. So it's like, I'm not good. Like at that point I've done maybe.
You got in your head and.
Yeah. And I had done like 12 from 2013 to 2018. I had done like 12 or 13 short films, whether they were, just getting started all the way up to then. So, little ones and stuff, and maybe like 10. And, I was just kind of done. And I remember just being like, you know what, I think I'm going to give up, and I'm just going to go back to work and go just actually work the job and, whatever. I was like, cause I was just like, I'm not doing it. Like, it's nothing's coming out the way I want. Like nothing's working out.
Right.
And I remember, I was like maybe a day or two into it, and I told myself, I go, well, what's the issue, bro? And I was like, I don't think I'm making the movies I want to make. I'm not taking the risk to give myself the shot. I'm trying to do movies that I think it will work for other people,
right?
Or what will work.
What do the other people want?
Exactly.
Not what do I want to do?
Exactly. I was like, because every time I would show anything I wanted to do, my mom and them would be like, it's too dark. Oh, this is not, or like it's too slow, or like, oh, it looks too scary.
Fuck you, mom.
Yeah, and then like, and like at the time I was just kind of like, damn, like I guess it's just that bad. But then I started realizing, I was like, well,
not everyone's gonna like it.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's not for everybody. And I was like, you know what? This one wasn't for everybody. I was like, it wasn't even for me. I was like, so you know what? Why don't I actually make movies that I want to make? And so then that day, I had wrote a script. I had it in my mind already for like, I did this movie for film school called Him. And it was a short movie. It was like 1.5 minutes. It was me, my little sister, and my boy Jerry, who was an actor. And it was all shot within like 2 hours. We shot it with like 2 hours. It was for a film. It was for a film project, and it was like psychological. It was like a psychological thriller, like a short. And my professor, and that was the one I loved because I was like, it looked very dark. I was very just like, I love the mysterious of like just fucking people's mind.
That's the movies I like.
Yeah,
I love
that's
those
what,
movies.
and that's what I did. And my professor was like, hey, you got something here. And I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah. He goes, you should work on this. And I was just kind of like, whatever. And I was kind of like, it's done. And then my boy Jerry kept telling me like, let's do something with that. And I was just like, I don't have anything for it. And then I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And then I kept thinking for like a year on it. And then I was like, okay. And I had thought some stuff about it. And then all that happened, whatever. And then so that one day I had thought, I was like, I'm going to write that script. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write that one. I'm going to see if I can write it. So I just wrote fucking 6-7 page script. Or 8-page script about it, and I was like, cool. I said, I'm gonna shoot it how I want. I'm gonna shoot it because I was from film school. I learned very differently, So I went out. I was directing, but I hired someone to do the camera. I hired audio. I hired all these people. But the thing about it is, like, I hired all these people who didn't know what I wanted. Yeah. So I was like, I have to show people what I want, so I can hire the right people to do what I want them to do, right? So then I called my brother and Jerry, and I was like, yo, you want to shoot a movie tonight? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, y'all free tonight? They're like, yeah, we're free. So I was like, okay, cool, let's shoot a fucking movie. Like, okay, cool.
Nice.
So
wow.
They came. I was like, I had all my gear. I had a Sony, my lenses. I had audio gear. It was my brother, Jerry, my son, who was at the time 7, 8, maybe something.
Really?
Yeah, 7 or 8. And then and then Jerry's girlfriend, who's the wife now. And so we're at my brother's house. I told my brother was out of town, my older brother. So I was like, we're going to use your house. He said, cool, that's fine. So we shot this short film within like 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah.
It's called 6. and it was a 13-minute film. And I remember telling my brother, I was like, "This is it." I said, "If this movie doesn't come out the way I wanted to come out, I'm done being a filmmaker. I'm done because I shot this. I showed you how
your vision.
Yeah, everything, bro. Like and my brother scored the movie. So my brother's a sound. He does music, so he scored the movie. We shot it.
Somebody's breaking it.
Hopefully not. And I was very, very excited. Put it together. I was like, okay, cool. Like it came out like dark the way I wanted it. Everything about it. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care what nobody thinks about it. I'm just excited. And my brother scored it. I mean, he did everything on GarageBand. The whole thing.
The
like,
whole thing?
On his laptop and GarageBand. He just did the whole sound, right? And so I was like, I remember my brother telling me that. Because my brother, I'm not trying to hype him up, but my brother is very smart. And when it comes to music, this man can hear something and mimic it back.
That's crazy.
He's fucking good at it. And so like
I know a person that can do that.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Yeah. And I'll tell my brother like how I want things to sound, and he'll make it. He'll make exact. And I'm just like, crazy. How do you do this shit, right?
Exactly.
So I got him to score it, and he goes, I'm gonna do it on GarageBand. I go, no, I'll buy you the equipment. He goes, no. He goes, I got it. I go, okay. He sends it to me, and I go, you did this on GarageBand? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, fine. So I got it. Fucking made the movie. I released it, and I said, you know what, bro? I said, I don't give a fuck who likes it. I go,
exactly.
I love this movie so much. And from that movie, I got financed to make that feature film. So I actually have that as a feature film, which is on Amazon Prime now, Plex, OneHub TV, Tubi. So we made a whole ass feature film. We shot it in 3 days. And it was wild. Like we improved on. I mean, it was wild. Like, it was a wild ride of like going from there to there. And then I've shot multiple. And I've shot short films now that I'm very, very proud of. I have another short film I'm working on that I'm also very proud. It's like now actually I'm glad I did 6 because 6 was the one movie that it was about a guy's depression and anxiety and being suicidal and losing his mom and everything. And so like all that kind of like, you know, like what the character's going through. I put some of that in there with, you know, of me in him. But yeah, it was and my brother scored the feature film as well on GarageBand, which is wild because like every single time someone watches 6, the first thing they say, bro, that score is amazing. And in my head, I'm like, yo, he did that shit on GarageBand, bro. But I mean,
leaving me a note to watch this. I'm gonna watch this.
What's the movie called again?
It's called 6, but it's spelled VI.
Oh, okay.
It costs on Amazon Prime. It's free on YouTube. It's free on Tubi. It's free on Plex. It's free on OneHub TV. So it's free on all of those.
So Roman numeral 6.
Roman numeral 6.
Okay.
And then, yeah, my brother did.
I mean, to me, that's like the biggest thing. Like, I have these dreams or night terrors, if you want to call them. I have them not frequently, but I used to have them frequently.
Yeah, enough.
And it almost reminds me of like Stephen King type shit, you know, Wes Craven type shit, just like things in my head. But
all your favorite movies.
It's different, you know. It's not a movie that I'm replaying. It's just something else that's very
it's like you're in that world,
right? Yeah. Right. And it's just like to me, it's like, how do they get that onto a screen? You know, how do they get that vision that they had? Because you know they had to have it. I mean, Stephen King just doesn't just pull this shit out of his ass. He's got this running around in his brain. Yeah. Of, you know, I've read a lot of his books, and it's just reading his books and then watching some of his movies that somebody else did. It's just like, what the hell? And I'm like, I've got this stuff in my brain, but how do you get it out on the screen? How do you put it out there to where people will understand where you're coming from and what you're doing? And so kudos to you on being able to do that.
It's a lot of work. Like when people complain about like me, I don't like critics. So I hate when like Rotten Tomatoes, like I always say, I feel in order for you to critique a movie, I feel like you should have directed and made a movie already. Because until you know the work that goes into making a movie, like as much as you can be like, this movie is a shitty movie, I'm like, you don't know the work that goes. And I'm not defending that just because a movie did a lot of work, it should be considered good. Right. But like you should be that should be a consideration of how you do judge the movie on like all the hard work, even if it is bad. Like, oh, that's fine. It can be a bad movie. But like, critics just shit on people just to shit on people. And I'm like, bro, go make a movie.
Yeah.
And you'll see how hard it is. Because like, I mean, everything that 100% of what was in my head for 6, only about 80% actually came onto screen. The other 20% really wasn't possible. You know, like it was so much like, but like it's still getting that 80% or 90%, whatever I got into 6 was hard.
Right.
Like, so imagine like bigger budget films and like working with so many other people. Like as much as like, oh, I get more help. It's like you have to direct every single person on what your vision is, how you want to see it, how you want it to be told, how they should show. Like, and not only that, they need to sync with you,
right,
and put their vision, their style with your vision, and that's hard as fuck already. It's just it's a very, very tough.
And just imagine that's your life for however long you're shooting. Like, your 100% of the day is for sure towards that movie. So
100%, man. And it's but it's to me it's worth it because like you see the final product and you're just let's do it again.
Yeah. If your final project is product is what you want it, then it's success. You know, fuck the Karens out there that, well, that just wasn't for me. Well, then don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I lost one person out of 2 billion, 20 billion people in the world. I lost one person. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no,
you know, I don't give a shit. No, I don't know how many people. Yeah.
I think it's like 8.
Like 8 billion.
8 billion people. Yeah, it is. No, yeah, I agree. I just got that out of my head. I just and there's people who watch my movie and they've been like, oh, it's boring. And I'm like, and for me, I think people think I get offended when people think like if they don't like my movie, but I'm like, I'm just glad you watched it, and made an opinion for yourself, whether you liked it or not. I'm glad you took the time to be like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this movie. And I mean, not to fucking brag, but I can have a 4.5 on Amazon. I have a 8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Really?
And I have I'm on fucking on Letterboxd, on Letterboxd, the app.
Yeah.
I'm on a fucking because I'll see if sometimes they'll put my movie on list. So they'll like horror movies of 2019 or 2020, horror movie posters. But there's sometimes I'll see a list and those like a guy put a list cinematic masterpieces to must watch, and 6 was on there. I was like, what? Like, even surprised me. I was like, you're lying. Like right there with Fight Club and fucking
what?
Yeah, I was like, and I commented, I was like, hey man, I directed 6, like I really appreciate it. And it commented saying,
oh, that's a mistake. No.
He was like, can't wait for the next one. Yeah, 6. Right. Oh, sorry. Oh man, you're hurting my feelings. Maybe he did. Nah, because it's Roman numeral.
Right. No, I'm a
no, I'm just kidding. No.
That's why
he did an asshole.
But yeah, it's very like it's a cool thing. I'll fucking look for this. But it's a cool thing, man.
Check
and
that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely check it out when you guys get a chance. It's a horror, not horror. It's a psychological thriller with some horror elements and a guy dealing with depression, anxiety. He's addicted to alcohol, and then he's about to give it all up.
He's American.
So he can find the right path, and then his mom dies, and his mom's like, promising you're gonna stop drinking and stuff, and she dies, and he's like, well, how am I supposed to cope with this shit now?
Right, yeah.
So now he's fighting his inner demons, which start to like physically manifest to him, and so now he's having to have to battle his inner demons and like what's going on in his life and like not drink, and so like it's this whole like battle within and like
oh shit,
damn,
what?
It's a slow burn, so it definitely starts off a little slow, but it picks up.
Right.
And I will say I have to look. I left I'll admit it. I left a whole ass audio line away from the movie when I uploaded it to
really?
to the film rights. Yeah. So if you want to see the actual version, which there's a whole ass audio line missing, which is important. It's on YouTube for free. You can watch the full version right there.
Okay,
but
that's what I was gonna watch.
Yeah. YouTube has the actual director's version. Like Tubi and all them have Tubi and them. Now, there's not really much missing but there's like a few little things that I noticed and I'm like, fuck, like they should and then I went back and I realized I muted that line and I was like, bro, this was a whole ass process. And I contacted them and they're like, yeah, we can, resubmit, redistribute them to the people, but you need to pay this so that we can re-get them back, blah, we got to talk, we got to re-get I'm just like,
oh, fuck.
I'll do it, just not today.
Yeah, fuck that. Never
So
mind.
yeah, watch it on YouTube. It's the
Okay.
the actual full director's cuts on it.
YouTube would have the
YouTube is the
director's
best
cut.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, they're the same version on everything. It's just the actual,
Director's cut.
the audio line
Yeah.
is missing on there. Yeah, you won't be missing any of that.
Do you have like another movie you're fixing to work on, or
Yeah, I don't have a title, but it's what the working title is called Last Drive. It might be, we might change the title, but yeah, it's a short
sequel
film.
to?
No.
Oh, like, what?
No, it's
you got
all-
Ryan Gosling.
yeah, right. No, it's also it's like it is another like thriller.
Okay.
A thriller movie. It's a short
Fucking
film.
cool.
It's about maybe 10, 11 minutes long. I have everything ready for it already, so we're hoping to start filming at the end of this month or beginning of next month. And then we have another film. We have another film that we're also working on right after that one to release in October for
Nice.
Halloween.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
nice.
Is
we're hoping I can
it a killer podcast story?
and we're hoping to have my next feature to start shooting next month, next year. So
That'd be
we'll see.
badass.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. That one's called you know what? I don't even want to say the name yet, but yeah,
No?
that one's cool. Yeah. Well,
Fast and the Furious 11.
you know what? Who is no? It's called Eye of the Garden or Eyes of the Garden. That's what it's called.
That's the one coming out.
That's the
in
feature film
Halloween?
next year. No.
Oh,
That's the one I'm
the
going to work on next year.
Okay, gotcha.
That's my next feature. Yeah,
Nice.
because I only got one under my belt right now.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make a movie or do something with that, but that's the thing is like I don't have a lot of friends that are willing to be in a movie or something. So even if I do it, I have
friends.
I have a vision in my head, and then like whenever I do it, I'm like I'm not as good as I think I am. So
I'll be
how it
the
is.
villain in your
Yeah.
movie. Just cast me as the villain.
You can be
Just-
Lex Luthor.
You're
Yeah.
bald.
All the villains are bald. So
Hey,
I'll be
Xavier.
the Xavier. Oh, Xavier.
Oh yeah, Javier.
Voldemort.
What was that?
I don't
I
know.
thought I heard a door open.
I hope
I'm
not.
hearing a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah,
and,
I don't know.
And Murray's going batshit crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
who's in
Yeah.
our house? Who's in
Get
here?
robbed or something.
I feel like I heard a door open.
They're just taking all the whiskey and beers. We're gonna come out. Everything's gonna be there, but the
Yeah.
whiskey and
I'm getting
beers.
robbed right now.
Why is
so.
all the rum gone? Why must the
Real.
rum be gone?
All right. Well, I know you need to get going so you can make it to Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, my wife has an order for me. We don't come on this side so much, so when she knew I was coming on this side, she was, you know what? There's a Krispy Kreme over there. So she's like, don't forget to
Yeah,
get
there's
some.
not very many Krispy
Yeah.
Kremes around anymore.
So I was like, okay. Yeah, the other one is in Arlington, so
Yeah.
So I was
I
like,
saw-
okay, I'll grab some.
I almost wrecked my car when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck?
Krispy
shit, there's a-
Kreme.
You don't see
Same.
them much.
All
Very
right.
rare.
Well, check Jesus out on TFTI
Yeah,
podcast.
TFTI. Thanks for the invite podcast.
Yes, sir.
And his movies.
Yeah, and
Fuck yeah.
Spektre Studios on Instagram. Spektre Studios, Spektre Studios. 6VI is on Amazon Prime, Plex, Tubi, One Hub TV, YouTube. So go
Watch
check
it
that
on
out.
YouTube.
Yeah, check out YouTube for
YouTube.
Director's cut.
the director's
Yeah.
cut. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. And
Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.